2016 Mann Cup Finals. It's Game 3 here at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena. We're inside the ILA Sports Store. Sam McDade alongside tournament co-host Matt Carrick. Matt, let's talk about today and what to expect. I know that in Game 1, we had Six Nations pull out a very dominant game. In Game 2, a role reversal, Maple Ridge really coming out on top. Let's talk about Game 3. What can we expect?
Yeah, it's always interesting to see which team rebounds best from a day off. Coming into the series, you could argue that Six Nations was the more banged-up team. They do have the more all-star studded lineup with the NLL guys. They've been playing pretty much nonstop since the end of November now. So that's about 10 months of straight lacrosse having to come into a national championship. On the other side of things, though, it may hinder Maple Ridge. They had the momentum, like you said, after Game 2, but I think they would have much preferred to just get back on the floor Game 3 yesterday and just keep rolling over Six Nations. So it'll be interesting to see who rebounds, who took care of their bodies yesterday, who ate right, and who rehydrated before this game.
Well, they definitely need to really have rehydrated before this game. They got 3 games to go on this. You mentioned earlier, though, that this was kind of like a redo for Game 1, and that's going to be really interesting to see who takes this one, because that's going to set the tone for the next 3 games here at the ILA Arena. Now, let's talk about our Twitter poll. Our Twitter poll was upsetted in Game 2. 65% of you voted that Six Nations would win that game, and they did not. So we need you guys to go to @JVI Video, to our Twitter, scroll down and check out our Twitter poll and vote for what team you think is going to win. That Twitter poll, though, will close at the start of this period.
Yeah, not really surprising. I think that Six Nations is still in the lead. Maple Ridge has been behind the 8 ball much of their season. They talked about that even from the opening press conference. But BC fans, if you're out there, vote for your team. It was, as we said, an upset in Game 2. Maybe the same will happen here tonight.
Now we're doing a day in history, rather not a game in history, or it could be a game in history, whatever way you want to look at it, as Colin Doyle played goaltender 3 years ago on this day. So we got a little bit for you there on that. Matt, what do you think about a player going in net?
That was pretty incredible. One of those things that you only see. We were talking about it on the ride home. Everybody's got their Mann Cup story, and we heard Brian Shanahan's the other night. This, I think, is Colin Doyle's Mann Cup story. The fact that both Evan Kirk and Brandon Miller called for goaltender equipment issues. Colin Doyle had to step in. That was all over Twitter. Apparently, Rory Smith had said he wanted to go in, and Colin Doyle was the guy that chased him down and said, no, we need you on defense. I want to put the pads on. And that was 3 years ago today. Credit to Brandon Miller, actually, for posting that one on Twitter.
You know what? That's pretty impressive to jump into goaltender. He showed his leadership there as he does lead the Toronto Rock. But let's send it upstairs to Steven Stamp and to Pat Gregoire, who have the call tonight and a little bit more of a deeper analysis. Guys?
Hey, lacrosse friends, welcome to the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena. Thanks, Sam and Matt, and that was crazy.
Insane.
I was at that game, at that series, and the funny thing was, when Brandon Miller comes out of the tunnel, and they're like, the Victoria players are so excited that he's been tossed, and he goes to the dressing room, and then Evan Kirk comes out like 8 minutes later, and they're just jumping around, and meanwhile, Colin Doyle has gone down. We're going to see some highlights from the last game, but Colin Doyle had gone down to the dressing room. Rory Smith was trying to get to go and dress as the goalie in case Kirk got tossed, and Colin Doyle was like, no, we need you out there. And Doyle came out. He looked pretty shaky. He fell down on one of the first shots he faced, but he actually was pretty good, and he got an assist. Basically just handing the ball to somebody who went up and passed to Stephen Keogh, and Keogh got 2 huge goals. That was a brilliant game. Hopefully we'll see something, probably not a third goalie going in, but something along those lines in terms of excitement. And Luke Gillespie brought a ton of excitement last game, and there is the goal of the series so far. Matt Symes going behind the back, drawing it closer. What an effort.
Yeah, the thing that really struck to me is that the Burrards, not only did they play a much more complete team game last game, it's the players that entered into the lineup that didn't play in Game 1 that were the big X factors. Symes with that beautiful jump shot in the behind the back goal, Luke Gillespie being an absolute horse, scoring a hat trick, 2 of them on short-handed opportunities, and it seemed that this Burrard's team really brought that effort, that full team 60-minute effort that we've been hearing about, that we've seen out in the WLA. And then you look on the other side of the floor, the Chiefs just really looked lost on defense, and actually even before they took warm-up, the entire defensive unit came out with a couple of the coaches and were really working on the picks and rolls, because the Burrards were doing a fantastic job with that 2-man game. Six Nations were just caught flat out, just not really looking they look lost, and it's so weird to see such a good, strong defensive team. And then also, too, the rock, that is Dylan Ward, definitely had an off game.
He did. It was not Dylan Ward's best game, and we know what happened in the MSL finals when he had, by his own statement, a terrible game in Game 3, his worst game in a long time. He came back and was stellar for the rest of the series and earned MVP honors. So if you're a Berards fan, you got to hope he doesn't do that again. If you're a Chiefs fan, you're kind of counting on him doing it again. The big items for the Chiefs tonight, I think, is Billy D. Smith is back in. What a difference he makes on the back end. Cody Jamieson, we're about 95% sure is in. There are 19 guys out right now for the last warm-up because they're unsure about a couple of things, but it looks like Jamieson is back in.
Yeah. And Craig Point's another.
Craig Point,
he was hurt. He got hurt in that game. In the major series, there's the stats from last game. You see, Dan Dawson, although they lost, he still was a horse.
Yeah.
I mean, it's this
now we
Six
get to see
Nations,
the stats.
and it's just there's so many offensive weapons on the Six Nations team that it just was so unbelievable that they found to kind of they hit a little bit of a rut, but that was credit to the Berards playing that high tempo defense.
Yeah, and it's great being here because we have people walking by. The only thing is they don't always know we're on camera, so we've got people chatting with us. So sorry if I was distracted for a second, but yeah, both teams have had one great game, and what we are hoping for is that they both have a great game tonight and make it just a fantastic game of lacrosse. Thanks for being with us. I'm Steven Stamp. This is Pat Gregoire. Thanks for being here, watching JVI Sports Network's presentation of the Mann Cup.
Now Matt Carrick alongside Sam McDade here, and we've got a game ahead of us here, but we're in the bottom half of our pregame show. So let's start talking a little bit about some of the players that are out on the floor. As you can see behind us, we've got the teal and the white today instead of the dark and the light for the opposing Six Nations.
Yeah, this is the jersey configuration. They started with the homes for Six Nations, obviously. Beautiful jerseys on both sides. I've really been impressed with this Berards jersey, especially the alternate blue that we're going to see tomorrow night. But and back in the home configuration for Six Nations here.
Well, speaking of that Berards jersey, let's talk about one of the players in it, Mike Mallory. We had a chance to speak to him in Game 1. Let's talk a little bit about his play and what he's brought to the series so far.
Yeah, he's been a stud for them all season long. One of these guys, like you said, he was in the NLL draft a few years ago, but kind of gets lost with some of the other bigger names like the Porters, the Reeds, and we talked about Riley Lowe and the other night, Ben McIntosh. But you can see the points right there, over 600 points that he has through a couple NLL seasons so far. Real huge junior A career as well, I believe coming out of Calgary or BC, but a guy that kind of gets lost on this Berards roster, but he was huge for them offensively through the regular season and through the playoffs. So look for him to get going here in this series.
So number 8 to watch out for on JVI Sports Network. Let's move over to the other side of the floor and talk about Ryan Benash. Ryan Benash, let's talk about him, Matt.
Yeah, let's talk about him. Those bright orange shoes and gloves, representative of the Buffalo Bandits where he plays. And I mean, just another, I was going to say great shooter, but we're seeing these highlights of him getting in tight, and there was the called back goal, actually, the too many men down on the crease. That's where they use him a lot on the power play, and he's had a really good series so far as well. We saw that Game 2 graphic where he had a couple goals, 9 points so far here in the Mann Cup. got a few to go to catch Dan Dawson, who's got 16 so far through 2 games, but definitely a huge addition to this Chiefs roster is Ryan Benesh.
So let's talk a little bit about Dan Dawson and what he's done for this tournament so far. We had the opportunity to speak with him at yesterday's game, and all the points that he's been collecting, he's been moving up in a historical top 10.
Yeah, we mentioned that before game number 1, and he has been huge. It was another guy that kind of gets lost in that roster. When he was with Brampton, he controlled pretty much all the play, showing his leadership, using that bigger body. But here on the Chiefs roster, it took a bit for him to get going. Gets a number of assists. You can see there he is now within, I believe it's 13 points of Colin Doyle. Has 3 more games rather to reach him. Should get that, and then as you can see, 161.74, and then 203 for his assistant coach, John Tavares, way at the top. They may be out of reach, but Dan Dawson, the history watch continues here in Game 3.
I know that Dan Dawson did say when I spoke to him that, it doesn't really matter to him, and I thought that was quite crazy to hear, but you know what? It doesn't to a player like that who's just playing for his team, and he said they had 20 minutes left to get that game back. Unfortunately, they didn't get that game back, but he'll be playing for more points, obviously, to help the team along, but the team definitely is his focus. Let's send it up to the other half of our team, though, Steven Stamp and Pat Gregoire, who have the call tonight, guys.
Hey guys, thanks very much, Sam and Matthew. I am Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire, and we do have official word. We've just looked at the rosters, and Billy D. Smith is in, Cody Jamieson is in, Craig Point is in, and Kellen Leclerc. So big changes for the Chiefs. On the other side, Dane Michaud is back in for the Berards. That's been the only change for them. We're going to go to a break. We'll be back with game coverage of Game 3 of the 2016 Mann Cup on JVI Sports Network.
We are here in the beautiful Six Nations Reserve at the ILA Lacrosse Arena. I'm Matt Carrick alongside Sam McDade as we cover with JVI Sports Network the Mann Cup. It is the final series. It's Game 3 here. Matt, how exciting is it to be here?
Yeah, always exciting, as I've been saying all tournament, to come into this historic building. You just walk by, you see all the pictures and all the historic trophies and things of that nature here in the ILA, and it's always a great crowd. We saw the parking lot filling up. We've seen fans packing the stands, the reserve seats, a lot of papers marking out who's going to sit where, but definitely a big line to get in here as well just before game time, so it should be another great one here, especially for the home side as the fans are in.
Well, let's talk about Maple Ridge first, and Ethan O'Connor, he is our player to watch for tonight. Aaron Davis is our player to watch tonight.
Yeah, the captain of this team, you can see just the 1 point so far, that goal. They rely on him a lot more for his defensive ability. They took the offense out of it for the Chiefs in game number 2. They'll need a lot more of that here in this one.
And then on Six Nations side, Ethan O'Connor, I jumped the gun a little bit on that one, but I definitely want to talk about this guy who has shown a lot for his club in this series.
Yeah, I believe he's a former Toronto Rock draft pick, if I'm not mistaken, but he's had a really good NLL career as well. definitely likes to jump up into the rush and join transition, and coming along. Not the biggest name at the trade deadline as that was Dan and Paul Dawson, but Ethan O'Connor did come over from Brampton as well, and he slotted in really well, and they're looking, again, transition play from him in this series.
Well, speaking on his transition play, we did see in game one a really nice breakaway that resulted in him finishing that and scoring a goal. But let's send it upstairs for some more play-by-play with Steven Stamp and color with Pat Gregoire, guys.
Hello, Lacrosse Friends. Are we on?
Yes, we are.
Okay, excellent. I can't hear anything. So we are on. Thanks so much. I didn't know we were coming on camera, Patty. I was tweeting. I'm Steven Stamp. This is Pat Gregoire, and this should be a great game once we can get our headsets all settled in. Game 3, game 1. Six Nations kind of ran away with it. Some folks thought it wasn't going to go well for Maple Ridge. Game 2, Maple Ridge, big pushback. We know there'll be big pushback from Six Nations tonight, and we expect it to start with Dylan Ward, who bounced back very well when he had, an off game in the first round. But actually, we're starting with Maple Ridge.
Well, I mean, Frankie Chiliano, he had an off game as well in that game 1. He bounced big time, and that's where you say, like Dylan Ward, don't anticipate him to have another game like he had last game. You could definitely tell he just was not pleased with the way he played, and for good reason, because he's an elite goaltender, and he was not elite the other night.
Yeah, and they both are. We expected there'd be some great goaltending battles in this series. We haven't seen it because they've each had an off game. We think they're both over that, and we're going to have great battles between the goalies and between these two teams. We'll take a break. We'll be back with Game 3 on JBI Sports Network. Okay, have a good one. Hi, sorry, I was just helping Sam out. Things are not going smoothly so far, but they will once the game gets rolling, I promise. Sid Smith, Aaron Davis out there for the ceremonial face-off, and we are getting ready for the real face-off in just a moment. I'm Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire. I probably shouldn't have told you that right now because you could have blamed somebody else. My apologies for the rocky start. We're going to get rolling, but yeah. Woo. Game 3, here we go. Jeremy Thompson is out there for the real face-off. And is it Travis Irving? It is. Irving, one of a few Burrards who take face-offs. He's probably taken the most, and he's been very good at the face-off dot, holding his own again. For anyone who's tuning in for the first time or hasn't heard it, the CLA rules are in effect as opposed to the rules these guys are used for all summer. They have to just pull back. So you can't just clamp and fight for it. You see Thompson and Irving both try and pull it out. Thompson comes up with it. Referee Ian Garrison whistles play in, and away we go. The other referee tonight, Blair Ferguson, and the third man in the penalty box is Terry Mosdell from the WLA. So the two Ontario officials tonight. And, Rob Williams talked about how they had to adjust. There's a shot by Randy Stotts. That's blocked. Picked up by Colton Porter. Just keeps it from going in the crease. Austin Stotts thought it was in, but it wasn't. And Aaron Davis takes the pass up. But, he talked about how they had to adjust, and they did a great job of it last game, staying out of the box more. And, it was the Chiefs that wound up taking some penalties out of frustration.
Yeah, I thought the Burrards did a good job still playing tough. Still that hard-nosed brand of lacrosse. It's just they stayed out of the extra stuff that had them in penalty trouble in game 1.
There's Taylor trying to get it through to Riley Lowen, who was absolutely on fire last game. It's going to be a possession call. The Chiefs will go the other way, and Ethan O'Connor will just run behind his net to create some space with Lowen pressuring him, and Thompson will get it to Dane Smith. Chiefs setting up. Dawson trying to fight his way through. got some space, shoots, saved by Chiliano, but it goes right to Randy Stotts. Cody Jamieson has it. Yes, Cody Jamieson is in. Dane Smith shoots. That one's knocked away. Goes straight to Jamieson with 20 left on the shot clock now. He tries to shovel it through. Does. Briar Jonathan stopped by Frankie Chiliano. So Roger Weiss has come out of the lineup. They actually had 19 guys in second warm-up as they were trying to decide on some last-minute things. Wanted to make sure Cody Jamieson's knee felt okay. You can see as he moves, he's a little ginger on it. He's not maybe quite the tank he usually is. He's so strong, but he still can fight his way through, and he's made a huge difference to this team. There's a shot by Stotts, and it goes straight back to the Chiefs. Another 30, and Randy Stotts is going to get a rest and bring out Craig Point.
This is one thing Six Nations doing right now is dominating the offensive boards with the loose balls. That's one thing that they did struggle later in the game against this pesky Burrards team, I should say, too.
For anyone who's not familiar with the story yet, Cody Jamieson, there's Dawson with the pass back. Jamieson shoots. What a goal. It looked like a save, but then Blair Ferguson throws his hand up, and Cody Jamieson starts them off. Not long for him to have an impact. They were 0-3 in the MSL Finals. When he was sitting out, he strapped on that knee brace, went out and played. They went 4 in a row, and he said, I heard from someone that after the game 2, he said, that's it, I'm going in.
Yeah, he said, tape me up, I'm going. And I'm sure Six Nations fans are saying, Cody Jamieson, please never leave us, because we're barely starting this game and he's already made an impact on the floor. That's just the type of special player he is. He's an unbelievable sharpshooter. He feeds the ball so well, and I've said it in a couple broadcasts. He's one of my favorite players to watch. He's just so fun.
He's one of my favorite players in so many ways to watch, to talk to. I mean, he's so smart.
He's a pro.
I still remember one of my favorites was a few years ago. There's a game in Whitby, the Brooklyn Redmen and the Chiefs. There's Austin Stotts going to the net. He flips a over-the-shoulder pass. A little adventurous to Benesh, doesn't quite get through. Chiliano grabs it, but they had to call the game off in the second period because the floor was sweating so badly. One of those humid nights in Brooklyn, the floor is sweating. They call it off, and fans are leaving. The players are getting ready to go. And Cody Jamieson says, there's like 6 pads in this arena, in this building. There's got to be somewhere we can play. They go and play it, and he was a young player then. And still, when they had to draw, it was a close game. It was a 1-goal game. That shot by McIntosh is blocked by Billy D. Smith. Ethan O'Connor going hard after it. McIntosh gets it back, but runs out of time and misses the net on the last second shot. They had a timeout late in the game. He was the guy. No disrespect to their offensive coach, but he was the guy drawing up the play with all the veterans around him. And they were listening. That's the kind of leadership he has. Now he has the ball, and we'll try and roll over. He gives it off to Randy Stotts. Stotts is going to look for someone. Creighton read on him. Flip back to Dan Dawson. Big pick by Briar Jonathan, but the save by Chiliano. Now that's how you throw a pick.
Absolutely. 4 minutes into this game just about, and the 2 impact players that have drawn back in the lineup have had some huge plays. Jamieson with that goal, and Billy D. Smith with a huge block, which we've seen him do so many times throughout his career.
Jarrett Davis with the ball. Lowen gets it back to Davis. That pass came through to Mallory. He didn't even see it coming. And then Gillespie couldn't pick it up. That's about the first thing we've seen Luke Gillespie not manage. He came back last game, scored 3 goals, a couple of beauties shorthanded, going low, and then had Jamieson thinking he was going low again and ducked it over Doug Jamieson. There's a shot by Stotts. He is so quick getting it off, and he missed that one. Slight push from behind. That is how you manage it. And here come the Burrards. What a run, and the shot, he scores! Holy cow, Owen Barker. Had somebody ask me about Owen Barker's draft status on Twitter. He has none. He was in the draft last year, so he will not be drafted. He is now a free agent. But I'll tell you, if he keeps doing things like that, his phone may be ringing.
Yeah, this is a great hustle play, and an even better job looking off, recognizing that Billy D was coming towards Porter. And just a great finish. Obviously, Dylan Ward getting the stick caught in between the 5-hole, trickles in. Not the ideal. One of the first few stops or almost stops for Ward. I'm sure he's going to be looking for a bounce-back save.
We're back to live action. The Chiefs win the face-off, throw it to John Sullivan, and he gets it up to Randy Stotts. And, we saw that from Dylan Ward the other night as well on the Matt Symes jump shot, where he kind of caught his stick with his foot and spun it a bit, and that opened the space. It's almost like he's trying to clamp too tight instead of just letting his stick and legs do the work, and that's when you're not feeling that comfortable. But we'll see how he does tonight. Here comes Kevin Reed. He is shoved off by Brody Merrill, and then it takes a chop in the back. Nothing called on that cross-check to the back, and I think Reed has number 27 dialed into his memory. So we'll see if anything happens later, because that was definitely a check to the back after the play. McIntosh going in on Merrill. Paul Dawson jumps out, now slides back. Nice work by Dawson to pick up Symes. McIntosh gets the pass back, shoots. Big save by Ward. That was a nice quick release. Sid Smith gets the ball, tries to shovel it over to Dawson. Nobody's there to worry them, so Merrill takes his time, and the Chiefs come the other way.
The way that the Chiefs play defense, they really play tight. Make sure to take away the middle and give Dylan Ward those outside shots, and that's why their defense wasn't successful last game. If Ward can stop those outside looks, this defense and Ward will be much more successful tonight.
Zach Porter all over Dan Dawson, knocks the stick out of his hands. Dawson gets it back. It goes into the Burrard's bench, though. And Porter's trying to go to the bench while Dan Dawson's trying to pick up his stick. They collide. And Zach Porter says, no, I'm not in your way, as he's stepping into him. We are enjoying the Porters.
Yeah,
and their aggressiveness on the floor. Nothing. I don't see anything dirty or cheap.
Nope.
They just get right in your face. And
they play the line perfectly.
Yep. Mallory with the ball. Sam and Matthew were talking about him before the game. I think, he shoots across, and then, we're going to have a Maple Ridge possession. I didn't see what the call was for. I think they actually would like to see Mallory get a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more active. I think he's been a pretty quiet man out there so far. We know, he's our leading scorer in the summer. He steps around, gets a shot, almost got something going there. Jared Davis, great little play to push Cullen Leclerc away. Leclerc, the first-year pro last year, first-year senior this year, learns from the veteran Jared Davis, you better have your footwork and positioning set. Davis cuts. They try and get it to him. Actually, the pass goes to Mallory. The penalty coming. You could hear the slash. And that's what it was called. You can hear somebody say it was on the stick, but I didn't see where it landed, but you could certainly hear.
You could definitely hear it. And sometimes that's all it takes, too, is you hear it and you see the reaction, and that's enough to get a call. And it's Billy D heading to the box, but that's usually a penalty that the Chiefs are willing to take to let Billy D establish his presence.
Yeah, you talked about the blocked shot and how important that was, but I think the fact that he is there is more important. He is such a big, tough man. And great guy off the floor, one of the nastiest people you run into on a lacrosse floor. So Billy D. Smith makes people aware. They're going to have Brody Merrill and David Brock up top, and Sid Smith and Paul Dawson down, killing the penalty. And Jared Davis loses the ball. Here's Brody Merrill running the floor, and McIntosh knocks it away from him. We'll see if they say that Merrill had possession. They do not, so just 10 seconds left in the first possession of this Toronto Rock Elite League power play for the Maple Ridge Burrards. McIntosh is going to shoot. Ward stops him and pounces on the rebound, and now he's just going to wait. They like to do this, so McIntosh is saying, blow it in, so he'll just pick it up, and play starts. And then Paul Dawson gives him a bump. I mean, what's he supposed to do?
He's just letting him know.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, you don't want the guy reaching into your crease, but unless the ref tells him to make it happen, move the ball. Now, Ward's going to the bench. Cody Jamieson will come out and be the safety valve up top. Again, he will not come inside the restraining line because that would kickstart the 30-second shot clock. As long as they don't have that fifth attacker in the zone, he's okay. And Jamieson starting towards the bench, so it looked like Randy Stotts was going to the net, but now he passes it back to Dane Smith. Smith was just single coverage, and boy, he's tough to cover with two guys. I don't envy Colton Porter, but here comes Creighton Reed, and Reed's going to take a slashing penalty. That pass to Stotts gets away.
Don't really know if I like that slashing call, to be totally honest.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, that means we have 4-on-4 lacrosse, and anytime these two teams so big and athletic get 4-on-4 lacrosse, it usually has for some good entertainment value.
It does. I didn't really see that as a slash either. Maybe.
Here's
go ahead.
Here's the little shove. Even though, like you said, he's like, what? I'm just letting him know. He's in my way. You're not going to touch my goalie's grease.
He did give it I was just running to the bench shrug.
Yeah.
Moving around the outside. Point has it. He's going to let it go. Just misses wide, and that's going to bounce all the way back. Dylan Ward will go and catch it, and Craig Point has come back to the low restraining line. Dawson takes it. They've got 10 to shoot. He's working on Kevin Reed. Jamison shoots. Saved by Chiliano. He topples, but makes the save first, and just kind of puts it over to Dane Michaud. I've liked the work Dane Michaud did in game one. I think, they're obviously got some good things happening in game two, but I like the way he's played.
Yeah, no, I really am a big fan of his game. He brings a lot of energy, and he's got some skill set to him as well.
Burrard's short-handed now. They're going to work the ball around. Remember, Luke Gillespie had 2 short-handed goals last game. He just had the ball a moment ago, passed to McIntosh, who threw it over to the far side to Taylor. He rips a low one to McIntosh. Jarrett Davis cut to the net, and Brody Merrill just picked him up in time. Here comes McIntosh cutting, saved by Ward. Boy, Dylan Ward gets so deep in his net when guys are cutting in on him to just be ready to react to anything.
That's a big stop for Ward. Starting to see him settle in, start to get into the zone, and if you're the Burrards, you're probably thinking to yourself, oh no, I think the good Dylan Ward's back.
Dane Smith to Jamison. Twister bounces past Point off the boards. Dane Smith will track it down. Only 4 seconds, 3 on the shot clock. Over to Dawson. He'll let it fly. Just misses, hits the backboards, and that one came off the ceiling with alacrity. Dan Dawson there to forecheck, has his finish. Now they're both going to head off, as Connor Goodwin will run the ball up the floor. 10 seconds left in the Burrards penalty. We're halfway through the first period, and the penalty is over. The Burrards come back to even strength. Dan Taylor runs out to join the offense, cuts straight to the middle. That is the MO for this team. Get somebody to the middle. What a driving attempt by Matt Symes, but he lands in the crease after the shot goes wide. We will take the media timeout. That means we throw it to you, Patty Gregoire.
Yes, and if you are a Toronto Rock fan or just a fan of lacrosse, the Toronto Rock season tickets are now on sale for the 2017 season. Enjoy great benefits like the ticket exchange program and 2 bring a friend vouchers for any regular season game, and of course, a ticket to the first Rock home game is included. Tickets start as low as $195. For more information, call 416-596-3075 or simply just visit torontorock.com.
It's simple.
That easy.
So far, here we are in the first period, halfway through, 1 goal apiece.
Quickly,
sorry.
The Rock Elite League is still accepting registrations for this fall. Join the premier winter box lacrosse league in all of Canada. A 24-game regular season allows players to keep their stick skills sharp year-round. Rock Elite League has professional coaching from NLL players and coaches and includes NLL rules and officials. Register online today at rockelite.com. Now, Stephen, what were you saying?
I was saying it's 1-0. Both goalies have made some big saves.
Yes.
Nobody tells me anything, by the way. I just sit here and start calling things. And there is one of the big saves by Frankie Chiliano. Dylan Ward's made some. I mean, the latest being that one on Ben McIntosh as he cut in. So this could be a lower scoring game. Maybe we don't see anybody get over a dozen tonight. Briar Jonathan would like to get the Chiefs heading towards that. He runs around the top, throws hard across to Dane Smith, cutting Dan Dawson, but they're all over him. Owen Barker picking him up. Creighton Reed is there to battle for the loose ball. They don't want to pick it up. They just want to block it. And Austin Stotts working him over. And Zach Porter slashing Austin Stotts in the leg. And Stotts is not happy about it. He's going to give Barker a big push. Barker falling down, grabs Stotts' stick and drags him down with him. And Ian Garrison says, knock it off and let's go play.
Good on Stotts to keep his cool there, because we have seen a couple of times recently where, he's taken that little extra chop or extra push.
And so many times it's the retaliatory one. Dawson gets up on Lowen. The stick got up a little bit, but Dawson was being pushed from behind by Taylor. Now Dawson takes a run at Aaron Davis. Jarrett Davis. I will get those two straight. I don't know why I'm confusing them. Jarrett plays offense, Aaron plays defense. But they do look similar.
They do look similar. They both are, fast.
Yeah.
Shifty guys.
Oh, down low, Von Harris, maybe thinking about how much time and space he had to get to the net, dropped the pass before he could do it. Here's Jamison cutting, huge pick by Benesh. And the Chiefs don't like it, but I thought that was a pretty big pick.
It's a big pick. I think it's the timing that it took a couple of seconds to make that call is what I think they didn't like.
I'd agree with that, because that was very late. Taylor throws it back to Davis. He's cutting in. Thompson picks him up. Kellen LeClaire trying to help out there and keep his eye on Matt Symes. That one, Mallory doesn't even see it. It's grabbed by Thompson. Davis all over him, but Thompson gets it out to O'Connor. There's Symes pressuring. Boy, Matt Symes helping his draft stock with his performance here. That shot misses by Dane Smith. It's picked up by Creighton Reed. He's going to go for a run. Gets by Briar Jonathan. Jonathan goes to the bench to let Brody Merrill come out. And Reed sees a bunch of teal jerseys and will just peel back and give it off to Mallory. It goes to McIntosh, who makes so much happen for this team. He had a very quiet 7.9 in game 2. Here comes Brody Merrill. Player racing off the bench. Misses. And we do have a too many men call on Maple Ridge. Tyler Codron, one of the Maple Ridge coaches, you can see him standing. No, you can't see him. He is standing with his foot up on the boards.
Yeah.
And a lot of dissatisfaction with that call from the Berards.
I think it might have been the right call. Brody Merrill looked like he had a ton of space between himself and what it looked like the other. So we'll see it right here.
It's going to be the first guy heading for the bench, obviously, that has to get there. We're not going to
be able to see. Yeah, unfortunately.
Nothing there. We'd have to be looking from up top, but anyway, it is 5-on-4. The Toronto Rock Elite League power play for the Six Nations Chiefs this time. They're moving the ball around quickly. Point shoots, scores. Boy, Craig Point. I remember talking to Rich Kilgore in the finals and saying, you sound him out a game. Boy, he's just instant offense, or it might have been the semis. He's instant offense. He's such a great shooter.
He is such a big boost, not just to the lineup, but especially the power play. And the thing he brings, obviously that, was an open look. But sometimes, if the Six Nations offense doesn't really have anything going, he has the ability to just unload an outside rip and just put one right through the goalie. But obviously this is a set play just to, get him free and unload and cork one, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to have a knack for being able to, like you said, shoot around a defender really hard, accurately.
Yeah.
That makes it awfully tough for a goalie. But that one, he had space. And here comes Aaron Davis. He throws that one up off the boards. Nice grab by Connor Goodwin. He's going to come over to Mallory. One-on-one with Kellen LeClaire. Everyone else on the far side. Mallory trying to work his way through and doesn't get by. Now there's a big pick coming from Davis, who loses his stick. And he is adamant. He is very angry. The shot clock expires. Davis wants to know why there's no penalty when his stick's taken away.
Six Nations bench also wanted a penalty for that late shot that just whizzed right by Dylan Ward.
There's a shot by Dane Smith. That one stopped. Kevin Reed picks it up. Kevin Reed will join Sam McDade in the first intermission. That should be a good one. Oh, Creighton Reed lets that get away from him, but he gets it around Brody Merrill. Pass across. Nice one to Taylor. There's Symes. Oh, what a save by Ward.
That's textbook Dylan Ward right there with a big arm save, looking calm, cool, and collected in the net.
Von Harris looked like he was going to shoot. He pulls it back. He'll give it to Cody Jamison. Harris heads to the far side. Oh, he was wide open in the middle for just a second, but not sure they were both on the same page there. And there were some sticks in the way. Jamison gets one off the boards, tries to feed it through. Austin Stotts is shoved down by Aaron Davis, and it'll be a fresh 30 for the Chiefs.
You know what? The way that Austin Stotts has been shooting the ball out in front of the crease with that twister, you're basically taking away a goal there. I think you take that possession call.
Yeah, that's not too bad. He's been unbelievable. Again, Austin Stotts, 18 years old. A new student at Onondaga Community College. There's Jamison. He gets double teamed and loses it. Austin Stotts picks it up. They're all over Cody Jamison, which gives Stotts some room. He barrels through, pulls it back. Now they're on him. He drops it over, but it isn't picked up. Dan Dawson tries to get it. Boy, the Berards are on sticks and on the ball. And this 30 has been reset. I'm not sure why, because I don't think anybody had possession. The Berards certainly did not. Yeah, I think they were counting down. You can see Blair Ferguson counting down. I think
Yep.
it was the 30 that he counted. And then Randy Stotts gives Matt Symes a push. He gives one back. They'll both go to their benches. Good no call there. Then we head the other way. McIntosh is watched by O'Connor. Nice pass through. Diving shot by Davis. But the save. There's a crease call. The officials communicate and get their agreement, and the Chiefs come back the other way. Fast-paced, lots of scoring chances, but only 2-1 so far.
Defensive, both defense on both teams have done a good job adjusting to both styles of play of this team. It looks like they've really finally settled in. And like you said, I think we might see more of a defensive battle.
Yeah,
but with that being said, the shooters on both these teams, it could turn into a shootout at
They can
any
heat
moment.
up in a hurry. We've seen that in both games. There'll be stretches where nobody's scoring, and then all of a sudden, one will go in, and there'll be a few more. We get back underway. McIntosh to Mallory. Paul Dawson out on him. Gillespie cutting to the net with David Brock on. Penalty coming to Dawson. Chiliano sprints to the bench. And here comes the extra attacker. They've got 15 seconds to work with as Lowen takes it. He goes to Mallory. McIntosh picks for him. Shot just getting the save. Catches the ball between his arm and body. And Dylan Ward wants a sip of water before he goes to the penalty kill. And the Burrards will have the extra man for the next couple minutes. And you're going to see that right here as he comes across the top. It's that hold right there. Yeah,
Yep. When you see it from that angle, you see it slow down. Definitely. I wasn't too sure about that free arm, but when you see Mallory kind of pull back, that's where you see the free hand make a difference, and the official's going to call that every time.
Yeah. Mallory starts with it down to McIntosh. Dan Taylor's up top and gets the ball. Lowen back to him. McIntosh has a chance. Not going to have a shot though, but Taylor will. That one's stopped by Billy D. Smith. What a play. Brody Merrill breaks up the floor, but the ball is knocked down. Gives Taylor time to get back. Taylor's motioning the defender to come over and take Merrill so he can get to the bench. And Merrill gives it up to Benesh.
You can just tell this Six Nations penalty kill so much more calm and relaxed, not so chaotic when they have Billy D. Smith on that penalty kill.
Billy D. Smith, or Dane Smith, sorry. Cuts across, throws to Ryan Benesh.
Doing a good job chewing up this Rock Elite League power play right now.
Yep. Again, Jamison up in the neutral zone. So the 30-second clock will not start running, but he is there. If the ball rolls out, and he can pass it back into the offensive zone. Of course, if it comes out, it isn't over and back. But he can also step in. The big thing, there's Benesh. What a save by Chiliano, and Jamison goes to the bench to get Ward. The other thing they do that for, in case anyone's not sure, is if you have that player there and you maintain possession, as soon as the penalty ends, the penalty box is right beside their bench. The penalized player can just step out. It's literally 2 steps, and then the goalie can go back, and you've got your full 30 with your full offensive set out there. Lowen to Taylor. He's going to shoot. That one's wide, but he's going to be able to track it down. They've still got 8 on the shot clock. He shoots again, low to high. That one's going way back, and they're going to run out of time. Chiliano wants to get there so he can whip it down the floor. And Six Nations will be able to kill the final 8 seconds of this penalty as Dane Smith will slowly move up the floor. Paul Dawson will head to the bench, and Ryan Benesh is set to join the offense. There it happens. And we're back to even strength with just over 2 minutes to go in the first period. A low-scoring first period. It's been 5-1 and 4-1, I believe, at the end of the first period in the 2 games. Dawson snags that one off the backboards. Smith shoots well high, but it comes out to Briar Jonathan. Nice work by DJ Sari to knock it loose. Everyone's fighting for it, and Sari is going to wait and let the 30-second shot clock expire. He'll just pick it up as the new 30 begins. Here comes Jarrett Davis with the final minute and a half, 5-on-5, and the Burrards will try to even things up. Mallory to Symes, back to Mallory. Brody Merrill gets out on him, the big pick, and they switch off. There's the backdoor cut for Symes, but couldn't quite connect. Nice job by Kellen Leclerc. Knock that one down and move it up to Merrill. Stotts is the trailer. Now Cody Jamieson, the later trailer. Randy Stotts will track that one down. He's got Austin Stotts up top. Looks him off, and Austin will go down low. Randy's got Ethan O'Connor there. We saw O'Connor score a goal from the set offense earlier. He's going to try and get another one. But he's stopped by Frank Ashiliano. I was waiting because Blair Ferguson was just staring to see if that ball slid over the line. Final minute of play. 2-1. Six Nations Chiefs leading. McIntosh looked like he was going to shoot toe drag. Now he fires it wide. Goes over to the far side. Lowen cuts down low. Nicely picked up by Brock. Taylor, behind the back attempt. And Jarrett Davis just kind of lost the handle on that one.
Recovery slides for this Six Nations team have been so much more tighter. They just seem like they're way more in control, not nearly as hectic. And I think that has a lot to do with having the anchor in Billy D. Smith back on defense.
He just makes them feel so much more formidable. Banesh, 8 on the shot clock. That one's knocked down and picked up. No, Michaud can't quite get it. Dane Smith is there. Runs Michaud into the board. Shot clock expires, and he flicks it back. And in the NLL, that's definitely a delay of game penalty, but not so much in the summer. Banesh getting into it, but Craig Point just tells him, just go to the bench. And that will do it for the first period. The Burrards trying to get a last shot. Now Jamieson and Aaron Davis getting into it. A little push from Billy D. Smith saying, you don't mess with Cody. And Aaron Davis is saying, he was kind of messing with me. There's Davis having some words with several Chiefs as they head off, but a 2-1 score for Six Nations, and that's some fast pace and pretty exciting lacrosse, and certainly bodes well for the rest of this series.
Yeah, you know what? This is the expectation that we had for this game. We knew both teams were going to come out strong. We keep seeing the fast-paced Burrards team that we saw from last game, and now we're starting to see more of the hard-nosed defense. And, of course, Dylan Ward has definitely picked up his socks.
Yes. And Frankie Shiliano has continued to play well. That is making it great. Both defenses working hard. The big thing is anytime someone's going inside, there are sticks on their sticks, knocking the ball out, and they're going hard after it. Sam McDade will be joined by Kevin Reed. They are ready. Sam, go ahead.
Thanks, guys. Alongside Kevin Reed, just like you said, Kevin, great first period of play. Let's talk about how you guys have one game, Six Nations has one game, so game 3 is really like game 1 again. How is Maple Ridge going to get this done and put it in a win column?
It's going to be the same effort we put out in the last game. Just everybody's got to be firing. Our defense has to pick it up, and we got to stay out of the penalty box because they seem to score on most of their power plays. So if we stay out of the box, then we'll look way better on 5-on-5 team.
Six Nations adding some names to their roster, last minute dressing them, Cody Jamieson, Billy D. Smith, just to name a few, Craig Point. Being a defender for Maple Ridge, how does this change your game plan today?
Doesn't change it at all. We play the same against any player that we play against. Same in Vic, same here. We're not worried about who it is. We just play everybody the same.
Last question, it's your first Mann Cup. How's it feel to be playing here?
Feels pretty great after 14 years on the Burrards.
Well, right on. You showed your commitment. Now you're here. Hopefully you'll take one home. Thanks for talking with me. I'll let you go back to the room. Stick with us here on JVI Sports Center. Actually, I'm going to send it up to Steven Stamp and Pat Gregoire. Guys, take it away.
Thank you very much, Sam. Great interview there with Davis. So far, I got to say, this has been a really good high-paced game, Stephen. We talked about a little bit. One thing I've mentioned a bunch of times, it's just the Six Nations defense. It just seems that what I mentioned was they had that defensive meeting to really work on that two-man game, stopping the two-man game, and it seems to be working.
It does, and like you said, Billy D. Smith being back is huge.
That's huge.
Kellen Leclerc is doing a pretty nice job playing out there. He's just a man back there, but he's still in. There it is, perfect. Seeing the defensive meeting. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what's going to happen. That's Rich Kilgore, the head coach, talking. Dewey Jacobs in the kind of tan shirt or gray shirt is kind of runs the defensive side of things for them, and it obviously worked. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the second period. There'll be some things happening in between, so stick around on JVI Sports Network's coverage of the 2016 Mann Cup Game 3.
Huron and of the Mohawk, of the wilderness, of strength and endurance. This is Canada. This is lacrosse. Our country, our sport. Canada's national summer sport, lacrosse.
2017 Toronto Rock season tickets are on sale now. Lock in your seat today for as low as $195 and you won't miss a moment of the action. For more information, visit torontorock.com.
Down low, push.
Hi, I'm Cody Jameson, and I shop at ILA Sport.
JVI Sports Network's coverage of the 2016 Mann Cup is presented in part by the following. Aero Express Sports, committed to preserving and teaching Native American Indians sport, culture, music, and language. They are proud to own and operate the 3,000 capacity multi-purpose facility that is the ILA. Winter lacrosse registration is now open, so visit their website to sign up today so you can play like the pros on the ILA turf. Team 22. It's designed to be the elite training program that strives to deliver the best combination of training and playing experience in an off-season training program. We focus on the overall lacrosse experience and player development. Visit their website for more information on training programs, to view their catalog of men's and women's lacrosse gear, or to see their extensive roster of Team 22 athletes. The Oswego Speedway. The 12th annual Sprint Car Nationals are this Saturday at the Oswego Speedway. Bring the family and cheer on your favorite driver as the 360 sprint cars run for national glory and a $12,000 purse. Thunder Stocks are also be in action Saturday night. The green flag drops at 7:30 p.m. Head to the track every Friday night between May and September to feel the excitement of dirt track racing at the Oswego Speedway. Smokin' Joe's. Natively owned and operated, Smokin' Joe's is based on the Tuscarora Indian Nation near Lewiston, New York, and are committed to bringing you smokin' deals on apparel, home goods, travel packages, and more. Aided with exceptional customer service locally, their mission is to revitalize Niagara Falls, New York, USA, while maintaining the Native American culture. Check out their trading post, fun park, gas bar, and lacrosse box on your next trip to New York. Kanawaki CrossFit. Located in the Native American community of Kanawaki, this CrossFit gym offers top quality training for the starter or elite individual. They are committed to combating diseases affecting the Native community, such as diabetes and obesity, through exercise and nutrition education. Connect with them on Twitter and Facebook to get connected with a member of their staff or to start your training program.
Welcome back to the 2016 Mann Cup Finals. We are in Game 3 of the 7-game series. Sam McDade alongside Matt Carrick on JVI Sports Network. Matt, so far 20 minutes of play. Let's talk there. Let's start there. Maple Ridge is down by 1. It's 2-1 for Six Nations. What does Maple Ridge really need to focus on and do to get back on top?
You know what? They're playing a really good defensive game in this one. To hold Six Nations to just 2 goals in that first period, and Six Nations doing great defensively as well. Looks like, I think Steven said it. It was either him or Patty. I know one of them said the direct quote, Dylan Ward is back, the MVP from that major series final. He's playing solid goaltending. Frank Chiliano matching him pretty much save for save. Their defense is huge. I don't really know that anybody needs to change anything. It's just going to be a struggle and a grind now, and it may be that way for the rest of the series.
And you made a great point about how this is kind of like the new Game 1 for the 7-game series. They each got a game apiece. Now this is going to set the tone for the next 7 games. Yeah,
it really will, and we'll see how far it goes, but there's a lot of talk. Are we going to be back on Friday for Game 6? Will it go Saturday for Game 7? Honestly, I don't see anybody winning 3 straight, especially based on what we've seen here in period number 1. It could go either way, but I don't see anybody taking a 3-game run here, rather.
Well, let's talk about someone who maybe could help them try to do that. That's Dane Smith. We have him up on the board. In 2014, he played for the Victoria Shamrocks in the Mann Cup. This time, 2016, he's with the Six Nations Chiefs. Let's talk about his comparisons.
Yeah, you can see a couple more points when he was with Victoria. Obviously, a few more games going in there as well, but he's been huge ever since he was a KW Kodiak in Junior A. Everybody knew that he was off to something special. This has been an incredible 10 months for him. As I said when he was our player to watch a couple games ago, I think he's only a few weeks away from being named the NLL MVP after the record-setting season he had, but huge for Victoria in 2014, coming on the losing end, looking to reverse things here.
Well, let's talk about another Smith. His cousin, actually, Billy D. Smith, added. He's been dressed last minute alongside Cody Jamieson, Craig Point. Let's talk about what they're doing for Six Nations and how they're going to help them in this game.
Yeah, there are 3 real big additions, and mean that literally and figuratively when you talk about Billy D. Smith. Just the presence. I've talked about it before on some of our broadcasts. As an offensive player coming down and knowing that you're going to have to face Billy D, that's even part of the mental game. But to get Jammer back and to get Craig Point back, we saw what Jamieson did in the major series finals, and the veteran leadership that Point's got to bring. It has to be a boost for the Chiefs, no doubt.
Now, if you weren't watching in the intermission, just after the first 20 minutes of play, we had a chance to speak to Kevin Reed of Maple Ridge, his defender there. If you aren't watching so far, he managed to say that, I asked him, these additions, these late dresses for Six Nations, what's that going to do for you guys? And he said, you know what? It's actually going to not make a difference at all. Do you agree with that, Matt?
Yeah, like I said off the top, I don't think either team really needs to make any changes. And when you've played a certain set for the entire season up to this point, there's no sense changing it now just for 1 or 2 separate players.
All right, well, let's send it up to our play-by-play and our color commentators, Steven Stamp and Pat Gregoire, as the game has just unfolded.
Hey, lacrosse friends, welcome back. Whoa, that was loud. Welcome back to the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena. It is the second period. We are underway, and the Burrards have first possession. Riley Lowen, as they are now going right to left, passes across to Dan Taylor. Those two, of course, teammates with the Saskatchewan Rush. And there's a long outlet pass to Vaughn Harris, who is looking to be an NLL player this year. And he actually has it knocked out of his stick by Blair Ferguson. And, of course, the fans love to get on him for that. Austin Stotts tries turned aside. Stotts follow through, hits Travis Irving. Irving kind of rubs his jaw a bit, but he's right back out there to check whoever he has to. And takes it out on Ryan Benesh with a big chop. And then Irving another chop on Benesh. Benesh kind of giving it back. Benesh has been getting riled up this series, so I think they're trying to get under his skin. A penalty is coming to Maple Ridge now. And Ward has gone to the bench for the extra attacker. They've got just 6 seconds left to shoot. Dawson, cross to Austin Stotts. He'll oblige. It's high and wide. Comes out to Dane Smith, who is ready to shoot. But again, for anyone who isn't familiar with the different rules, once you take a shot on the delayed penalty in CLA lacrosse, that delayed penalty is called. Play is blown down, whether it goes in the net or not. Even if the ball comes out off a rebound, there's no fresh 30 if you pick it up. So the Chiefs will go to the power play. Kevin Reed gives a little feint towards Cody Jamieson, who will accept the pass from Dane Smith and gets things going. Colton Porter And Creighton Reed up top. That pass is knocked down by Porter, and he's going to race up the floor, head for the bench to try and get Jarrett Davis out. 10 seconds to get across center, and they'll make it. Ben McIntosh runs back to get the pass and goes into the offensive zone. Hits Davis coming off the bench. They're going to slow things down, go for the penalty kill. They were. Now there's a penalty coming to Six Nations. And Frankie Chiliano is trying to figure out how he can get to the bench without stepping into over the restraining line and getting the 30-second clock running, and he can't, so he's just going to stand back there. I think what they'd have to do is send someone to the bench, let him come. How could they even do it? They could jump. We saw, actually, you know what? Billy D Smith did that the other day, or it might have been in the last round, where they actually stepped into the change box and then hopped over the restraining line. I think they can make this change. Frankie Chiliano is wondering. He's asking them what he can do. I think he can step into the change box. Paul Dawson runs over a man from behind. I think it's McIntosh, and hovers over him and then chops him when he's down. They've reset the 30, and it is running now.
Because Chiliano passed half now.
Past half, but he's not over the restraining line. He's been over half for quite a while, actually.
That's why the clock starts now.
It just started, though. He's been over half for like 30 seconds. I don't understand that. I mean, if it's over half, then he's been there. He's been standing there chatting to the bench, drinking water for most of this penalty. Gillespie in front. Thought about taking a shot. They're going to wait. 6 seconds left. Now he goes to the net. Now he's going to shoot and scores. Gillespie. Luke Gillespie. Another shorthanded goal, and that is unbelievable. What a play. He has been a huge impact. Didn't play game one. Comes in game two with a hat trick, including 2 shorties, and another huge impact here in game 3.
I think he might be better in shorthanded situations heading towards the net than straight up one-on-one. He's so quick and, decisive. And those fakes around the net, unbelievable. Barely any space. You see him taking it to the rack here. One fake, another fake, and then puts that one barely inside pipe. Beautiful, beautiful goal by Gillespie.
Reed comes out of the box. Sorry, Clay Miller was in the box for the Burrards, and we're back to 5-on-5. Austin Stotts tries to make the pass down to Randy, but it gets away, so Dan Dawson picks it up. 10 to shoot for the Chiefs. Cody Jamieson fumbles that pass a little bit, and Chiliano traps it against the mesh. And I will go down in the intermission if I get a chance and find out what that was about, because I was a little confused by it. But I'll tell you one thing that folks are asking about is the number of NLL players on each team. There are 5 on the Burrards. Dan Taylor and Riley Lowen with the Saskatchewan Rush. And Jarrett Davis also with the Rush, and Frankie Chiliano and Creighton Reed. Chiliano with Calgary, Creighton Reed with Colorado. There's an outlet pass to Brody Merrill. We'll get to the Chiefs in a bit. Riley Lowen hustles back. What a game he had in game 2. And here's a nice play to get back and stop the breakaway chance. The Chiefs will set up, and basically all the Chiefs are NLL guys except for the ones who have not been drafted yet because they're too young. Austin Stotts won't be in the draft for 4 years. Craig Point fires. Save. A nice pickup by Colton Porter, but the ball gets away from him. Point gets it back, goes high to Benesh. Michaud's going after him. Porter's in there. Michaud picks it up. And we've talked about the other, as Lowen takes, we've talked about the Chiefs' other draft guys. Warren Hill, one of the backup goalies. Doug Jamieson, the other. Leo Sturos and Vaughn Harris, all potential first-rounders. I don't know they can all go in the first round because that'd be almost half the first round. But they all have that potential. That pass through doesn't quite connect. Now it's picked up by Mallory, and he's going to have to pass to the near side. Lowen leaves it for Taylor. That's a bit behind him. And Lowen and Taylor have been basically battling for playing time with the Rush. There's a step-back shot by McIntosh. Didn't get much on it. There's Dane Smith breaking out just too far for him, and Chiliano will grab it. And it might be a boon to them that there's an extra player gets to dress this year for NLL teams, because a lot of teams will go to 7 and 10 instead of the 6 and 10, 6 forwards, 10 defenders they used last year. So that could help them. They might get dressed, except that the Rush are probably going to take Ryan Keenan first in the draft.
Yeah.
Which just makes it even more crowded on the left side. That pass comes across. Hard shot by Connor Goodwin is blocked by Ethan O'Connor, and Vaughn Harris is running up the floor. He's showing you his transition skills. He's going to let it rip. Saved by Chiliano. Oh, and almost picked up by Randy Stotts, but instead they go the other way. Clay Miller, he was the other guy inserted into the lineup for the Burrards last game, along with Luke Gillespie and Matt Symes that we've talked about so much. And Miller, I thought, did a great job as well.
Yeah, he was definitely an impact player, played pretty strong, but I mean, you compare him to the two other guys that came in the lineup, it's tough to compete with that.
He could get lost because they did so much. Jarrett Davis with the shot. Ward stops that, drops it down in front of him. Ben McIntosh applying a little pressure. So yes, the edge in NLL players definitely on Six Nations side, but you're seeing that some of these Maple Ridge guys may have the ability to play, just maybe not the opportunity yet. Maybe some of them will get there. Symes certainly is in the draft this year, and I would think his stock is rising with his play here. Great play by Kevin Reed. Picked that one off the backside of the stick and very calmly flipped it over to himself as he went forward. People think of Reed as, a tough guy. He is a tough player, but he's showing you he's got some stick skills too. Gillespie going down low again. He loves to go inside, passes it across. What an acrobatic play to stay out of the crease. Lowen hits the cutting Mallory. His bouncer goes wide. They've got 3 left on the shot clock, and it's going to go out of bounds. They go to the Chiefs.
Both teams really trying to make adjustments here, try to break these two defenses, but, they're just not giving anything in the middle right now.
Briar Jonathan, as you say that, gets to the middle, but Frankie Chiliano stops him. Reed being checked by Jonathan, pulls up, passes it off to McIntosh, who's looking for his outlet. Sees that it's Owen Barker trying to head to the bench, so he doesn't pass it and just waits for Jarrett Davis to come out. And that's a huge moving pick by Dane Michaud. And then Dane Smith runs over Jarrett Davis, but cutting to the net, Benesh stopped. Chiliano continues to be excellent. Boy, I still feel kind of badly that we left him out of the 3 stars the other day after 51 saves, but we didn't have those numbers, to be fair. Stotts behind the back. Oh, and a penalty coming as the Chiefs sword is flattened. I think that is Cody Jamieson. A high sticking call as he was absolutely rocked.
Good to see Jamieson get back up pretty quickly after taking a pretty hard hit there, and it takes a lot to knock down number 88 there.
He was kind of extended, so a little off balance. You can see let's watch it again. Oh, wow. Jarrett Davis has more of a complaint than I thought.
Yeah, I was going to say that before that happened there, he was real lucky. He got away with one there. Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. He cross-checked him high and then ripped him down with his stick. I would say that's...
Yeah, okay. The other one should have been called too, though. There's a hard shot. Dawson grabs it. They're going to say in the crease. Again, you can't grab it if it's over the cylinder of the crease. Sharp call by Blair Ferguson. Dawson almost had that, though. Jarrett Davis falls down, tries to make the pass to Reed, but nice job by John Sullivan to get on him. There's the pass out by O'Connor. Benesh, you can't keep giving him those. And he beats Frankie Chiliano to make it 3-2.
We saw him last game, obviously scored the 3 goals, but before that, he had a bunch of opportunities off the bench in the second period, and we even saw a couple in tight, and then once he sunk the one, the 2 others just came boom, boom. So I anticipate we see the same thing in this game, but we've mentioned so many times how good Benesh is in tight. Makes that little fake here. We'll see coming from the pass off the bench. Grabs it. It was a low pass too, and all he does is just the one little fake, and then boom, puts it top shelf on the other side.
Chiefs get the ball off the faceoff. Vaughn Harris came out to take this one, where Jeremy Thompson's taken most. That is a grueling job. So Harris gives Thompson a bit of a break. Randy Stotts has it. Barker on him. Nice save by Chiliano. It pops out again. Kevin Reed with the one-handed snag. Jonathan runs him into the boards. Boy, Kevin Reed's having himself a game. He's going to want to be interviewed every game now. He was a little reluctant tonight, but boy, he is having his best game in the series. What a great job he's doing. Long pass down low. Lowen gives, cuts to the net. He's open. Paul Dawson picks him up before Gillespie can get it to him. Gillespie working in the net. steps in the crease with about 4 seconds left. And boy, Gillespie's done some great things, but kind of missed Lowen on that open look there. Merrill waiting to see who to give it to, says Dane Smith is the recipient. Michaud picking up point. They go to the far side. Stotts on his offside save. Point over to Austin Stotts as they get the fresh 30 off that rebound. Banesh looking to pass now. Smith in some open space, saved by Chiliano. Stotts gets it, misses the net. They're going to say it touched Chiliano. It doesn't matter as Dane, well, it does matter because Dane Smith will get there first. Looks like Reed would get it. The great sprint. Dane Smith is so fast.
He's so effortless when he runs, too. It's those big, long strength in his legs that he's got those long strides.
Austin Stotts around the pick from Banesh. The shot by Smith is stopped. Stotts tries to pick it up. Great effort by Creighton Reed to go after it. They're going to say that Banesh went through the crease and played the ball. 9:35 to go in the second. We will have the officials' timeout, the media timeout. So, Patty, over to you.
All right, well, athletic programming is ever evolving, and trying to find good programming is getting more and more difficult every day. But Track Athletics Director Colin Doyle has developed an athletic program for boys and girls that is based in a fun, fast-paced environment. A full slate of programs are now open for registration, including boys and girls lacrosse clinics and PA Day and holiday camps. The next PA Day camp is on October 7th. For more information, visit TorontoRockAC.com. The Toronto Rock Athletic Center is pleased to present the Paul Rabel Experience Live. This is a one-of-a-kind event that is coming to the Canada's premier lacrosse affiliate on October 1st and 2nd, bringing lacrosse icon Paul Rabel to Oakville to hold his first ever Canadian camp. Is the first of many unique events at the track as a part of the new slate of programming offered by Track Athletics. This Saturday, October 1st camp is unfortunately sold out, but there is still space for the October 2nd camp for Pee Wee, Bantam, and Midget players. Goalies also are needed for both days, and goalies, you can register for free. Register online today at TorontoRockAC.com.
All right, we're about to get back underway, 3-2 for the Six Nations Chiefs. Frankie Chiliano still making his way to the net. We like the goalies to have a nice break in the middle of the period.
Yeah, of course.
They work hard. They get warm. He's strolling out. And a reminder from Michelle Balak that Mike Mallory also played for the Colorado Mammoth last year. I'd forgotten that, so that's my bad.
Was going to pipe up and say that, but the play got going and totally lost track of time. Happens when the play is so quick.
Oh, it's been fast-paced. I should have been on that, though. I know he has had cups of coffee here and there in the NLL. His season this summer should get him a look. There's a pass and a shot by McIntosh off the pipe. That's going to roll all the way down the floor. Chiliano will pick it up, and Dan Taylor comes back to get it. Taylor trotting into the offensive zone. They've got 21 left to shoot. Jarrett Davis, watched by Billy D. Smith. Mallory sets the pick. Mallory cuts through, and there's Goodwin setting a pick. Mallory circles all the way around to get that ball. Boy, these Burrard's players are active in the offensive zone. They do a lot of running. Behind the back pass to McIntosh. He tries to throw back across, doesn't connect, and Mallory shoots as the shot clock is expiring. And there's a penalty coming to McIntosh for checking in the crease. McIntosh is saying the stick was extending out of the crease. Jared Davis is asking as well. They're pretty upset, and Aaron and Zach Porter saying it's okay.
McIntosh clearly not pleased with that call at all as he's laying into Ian Garrison right now. But the fans here, we'll see this here.
We can't really see it from this angle if it's out of the crease. Play's been blown in. So if it's dangling out of the crease, he can check that. I couldn't see if it was out, honestly, from that angle. And again, as I tend to say, Ian Garrison was right there on top of it. So I'm going to go with his judgment on it. Jamieson to Banesh. Jamieson gets it back, shoots. Big save by Frankie Chiliano. That's getting to be a refrain this series, as is saved by Ward. That's been throughout the season, especially in the MSL playoffs and into this series, except for last night. Breakaway. Here comes Symes. What a shot. buries it. Short-handed goal. Not Gillespie this time, but Symes, his fellow Game 2 entrant. What a finish, a great transition goal for the Burrards.
What a great job this Burrards team has done adjusting to the power play of Six Nations. Game 1, Six Nations was 5 for 9. Then last game, Six Nations was held to one penalty kill, they were held to one power play goal, plus they scored 3 shorthanded. Now they have 2 in this game. They've really figured it out.
Face-off ready, and it's Dane Michaud this time out there against Von Harris. And Harris pulls that one up. It's picked up by Kellen LeClaire. Dawson steps in. Chiefs still in the power play, of course, as we are 3-3 here. Cody Jamieson down to Benesh. Dawson's up top. He gets it. Fakes the pass. Now he passes to Smith. There's the cutting Jamieson saved by Chiliano. You can hear how hard that one was, but it bounces right out to the Chiefs. Benesh shoots save right into the stick. That one skips away from Reed. Whack on Smith, but he passes it to Jamieson. Oh, what a save! Oh, Ferguson says it's in. The Burrards can't believe it, but Chiliano was back in his net, falling behind the line. Jamieson takes the shot. Chiliano stops it, but if that glove is behind the line when it hits it, that's a goal. And Ferguson's right there and was emphatic with his call.
Just impressive that he was even able to get anything on it. Looks like obviously he must have been in his net. We'll see the replay right here. And he was deep into the net. The net's pushed back past the goal line. Yeah, that's definitely in it. Cody Jamieson throwing about 1,000 fakes there and just blasting it in the net. But this all starts with that turnover by the Burrards. Yeah. Dane Smith picks up that loose ball. Huge play by Dane Smith, doing the little things that sometimes don't always end up on the score sheet.
Now, I'm going to want to see that again later, because if that hit him in the leg, that's not a goal. If it hit him in the hand, which I thought it did, that's a goal, because he's falling back in. Or the chest, that's in. It's hard to see where it came out. That last replay looked a little different. When we get a break, we'll have to check them out again. But Dawson has the ball. It's 4-3. There's a shot by Stotts. He gets his own rebound. Here comes Porter running the floor. The scoreboard's been a little bit off. They just got up. Now Brian Jonathan picks up the ball. He's got Austin Stotts running with him. A great job by Creighton Reed to get back on him. But another possession for the Chiefs. And those little turnovers, those possessions are critical in a game like this. We've got 6.5 minutes to go. The Chiefs up by 1, and what's a terrific game. This is what you're hoping to see, is the back and forth battle. And this is the best game so far in this series. And Point can't quite catch that pass as Smith fed it to him. Goes back to Smith. He's got to shoot. 1 second on the shot clock. Shovels it towards Chiliano, who stops it and looks down the floor. Dane Michaud is running. First man off the bench is Jarrett Davis. Good job by David Brock to pick him up. And the Burrards will have to set up for the 5-man offense. Gillespie hands it off. Ben McIntosh goes to the net, across. Oh, what a save. Dan Taylor looked like he had lost the net. Now he goes back, he misses the net. He's going to go straight to Jarrett Davis. Lowen, he wants to let one go. Toe drag spin over to Davis. Oh, he gets away from Von Harris. Misses the net, though. That one's up high. Great job by Taylor to knock it away from Paul Dawson. Here's some pressure. Couple of fakes. Gillespie passes to the cutter. Davis is stopped. It's going to come out in no fresh 30. It was blocked. Oh, what a goal! Lowen with the twister. He came alive in game 2. He was okay. He was good in game 1. Great in game 2. And that is a contender for goal of the series. Matt Symes behind the back is still great, but what a beauty.
That's a disgusting finish by Lowen, but it's the hustle plays before, fighting for the loose ball before to get that great little fake around Brock, and the finish is even better. But it just seemed that there was a ton of chances that the Burrards had. They couldn't quite find the net, and you just had a feeling that they were going to reply there, and boy, did they ever, with a beautiful twister goal by Lowen.
And you know what? You watch that second replay. It wasn't even a twister. He had the hands pretty much traditionally aligned. It's just a perfect placement just as he's getting hit. I thought from the other angle it was a twister too.
It looked like it was almost over top of his head.
Yeah. It was definitely a bit of a different angle. That shot right to the chest pad. Bounces out to Jeremy Thompson, who's up there for an offensive shift. Second possession as he fights for the loose ball. Boy, the loose ball battles have been absolutely fierce in this series, especially in this game. Jamieson, low pass to Stotts. He fumbles it but gets it back. 14 on the shot clock. He steps around, shoots, uses the screen and scores. Randy Stotts, we've got some offense rolling here. It's 5-4.
Just when we were talking about how good the defense and the goaltenders have been playing, and they have, but when you have these dynamic offensive players, you can only hold them down for so much. And you see Randy Stotts right here. He kind of just gives the little push off. He's so strong, and that release is so quick. But he always does that little push off move there, you see. Creates separation and shoots right in between the two defenders and uses his own player, Thompson, as a screen there as well.
Vaughn Harris has been taking a lot of faceoffs here. Takes another one and wins another one. Great performance by him. Just another club in the bag that he has. If you're an NLL GM, keep an eye on that. Dawson passes it across. Cody Jamieson with Zach Porter all over him. Hook in the arm. And Reed is out on Jamieson. Back foot shot by Dane Smith goes wide. The shot clock expires yet to try and get one on net. And Zach Porter will take possession for the Burrards, who trail by 1. What a period. It is 3-3 in goals in this period. Things are sparking up a bit. But Goodwin tries to pass it out, doesn't get there, but McIntosh, the hard shot, comes right out to Taylor. They've got 7 on the shot clock with Dawson on him. Taylor, we're going to have a moving pick called as Dawson took a hard shot from Connor Goodwin. He'll express his opinion to Blair Ferguson. Continues to express his opinion.
Rightfully so. He took a nice little shot there.
Shot. We've seen a few of those going called both ways.
Oh, absolutely. That's what happens when, the Canadian Championship is on the line.
Stotts across to Randy Stotts. Point. Oh, what a save by Chiliano as Point tried to go. A little twister to the middle, to the 5-hole, and didn't get through. Here comes Kevin Reed. 3 minutes left here in the second period, 3:15. It's 5-4 Chiefs. Burrards hoping to even things up. Stick with us in the intermission. Sam McDade will be joined by, I believe, the big man, Billy D. Smith. He is a great interview. You want to see that one. There's a shot over the top of the net, and Dylan Ward just ducked. 1 second to get a shot on net. They won't. And we hear that Jamie Dawick, the owner of the Toronto Rock, will be here as well. So nice to have him on board. Lots of people here watching this game.
You saw him sitting wearing his Rock gear, of course.
Of course.
Very proud owner of the Toronto Rock.
Cody Jamieson backing away from DJ Surrey. Surrey jumps on Banesh, back out to Jamieson, and they get it through to Briar Jonathan. That one goes up into the mesh. It's going to be Burrard's possession. Boy, the Burrards do a nice job in the two-man game. And then Jonathan just slips in out of nowhere to get open and get a chance, but misses. Taylor's going to give it to McIntosh. He drives to the net, but is turned away by Vaughn Harris. Goodwin looking for someone. Slips across the top. Back to McIntosh. Sid Smith all over him. Pick from Symes. They've got 8 to shoot. Taylor will let it go. Easy save for Ward as that went right in his stick. And Vaughn Harris is halfway up the floor. Great job by Kevin Reed to get out. Now Goodwin strips Harris. What a play by Connor Goodwin. Oh, but it gets away from Kevin Reed. Goes straight to John Sullivan. Sullivan's going to slow things down. Toss it over to Austin Stotts. Boy, Kevin Reed had a great first period. He's playing very well, but a couple of dangerous mishandles. One that led to a Chiefs goal. They're hoping this one won't. Saved by, oh, what a great snag. The save by Chiliano. And Reed snags that one. He's been so good grabbing those loose balls. Ooh. Goodwin tries to pull one back near side, and Ward just gets his foot on it. Mallory with the shot. That one goes wide. It's grabbed by Brody Merrill. He looks up the floor. Ryan Banesh is all alone. Drops the ball. Wow, what a chance he had. Boy, and that's one that the Burrard's coaches will be talking to their team about. You can't let that happen. Here's Dane Smith. Owen Barker, nice job to get the stick up on him but not take a holding call, as he really was careful not to get the other hand on him and not to get the tug. There's a moving pick by Briar Jonathan, and the Burrards get the ball. Speaking of the Burrards coaching staff, somebody pointed out, I don't know if we've mentioned, what a great job this staff has done with it. Rob Williams, the head coach, Tyler Codron coming on. I mean, they just have a tremendous group there. You know, right all the way through their organization, obviously doing a great job to get these guys ready to play and ready for whatever's next. And they're going to have a crease call. I think the Burrards want a holding call. We've seen something like that, and Gillespie gets taken down. The Chiefs, of course, will take a timeout with 31.5 seconds left. So they will probably pull Dylan Ward and just shoot at the end. Really wait till the last couple seconds so that if the Burrards get it, they don't have much time. Let us know who you think should be the Thompson Brothers 3 stars of the game. Thompson Brothers Lacrosse, that is. Tweet us at JVI Video. Tell us who they should be. Looking down, boy, I'll tell you, it's tough. I mean, so many guys have been playing well. You got to look at some of the defensive players. I think Kevin Reed might be a contender, except he only had that one turnover that was tough, but he's been awfully good.
For me, Billy D. Smith from the defensive side. Cody Jamieson you could look at.
2 goals and 2 assists. It's such an impact on this team.
Luke Gillespie as well. He's just not only, just the goal. He's had so many other opportunities, really playing well without the ball as well. It's just there's so many different guys on both sides of the ball, and then you can even look at the goaltenders too, especially considering last game we didn't see the best of Dylan Ward, and Chiliano we saw a really good game from him last game.
This broadcast is copyright JVI Sports Network and may not be reproduced or rebroadcast in whole or in part in any form without express written consent of JVI Sports Network. So if you want to do that, get in touch with JVI Sports Network. See what they say. They're pretty nice guys. I like them.
Oh, they're all right.
I think they do a good job. I wasn't very happy they kept talking during the first part of this period. But, other than that, everything's been fantastic. We're sorry about missing that first part of the period.
No comment.
So the Chiefs waiting for the final seconds. They have pulled Dylan Ward. 15 seconds to go. They're going to wait right to the end because they've got 11 to shoot. Dawson is directing traffic. Now they get moving. Smith over to Jamieson. Steps across, and he is hammered. Great job by Michaud on the slide. They get it down to Dawson, and the shot clock expires. The period expires, and that is a great slide. And the Burrards are saying, we should have some time left on the clock, and Dylan Ward, while the play is stopped, is going to run down to the net, so it's going to be irrelevant. Cody Jamieson takes a little bit of a fake swing at one of the Burrards players.
Starting to see a little bit of chirping going on between the two teams. I mean, for how physical it's been and how tough and hard-nosed lacrosse has been, it's been a fairly clean series.
Cody Jamieson right on top of the crease. Kevin Reed saying, you got to give us some room. And Ian Garrison agrees. They'll start with the ball in the stick of Frankie Chiliano. And there's 2 seconds left. So Dylan Ward's in his 1.8 seconds. Dylan Ward's in his crease. So any chance the Burrards had is gone. And you can't tell the Chiefs to put Dylan Ward back on the bench. We're going to have a 5-4 score unless Frankie Chiliano. And honestly, if he tries to do anything, it'd be more dangerous that he'd drop the stick the ball in his net than that he'd score. So he's just going to hold it. Jamieson and Reed having a word. They may be 2 of our 3 stars. They're both playing very well. It's 5-4. Sam McDade will be down on the floor with, I believe she's going to grab Billy D. Smith. There are some words. Kevin Reed is waving. Randy Stotts is stepping out to chat with his guys. Dylan Ward getting congratulations from his players. And you know what? This is a lacrosse series. It's a best of 7. Intensity ramps up, and we love it. That's why, that's why this series, the Mann Cup, is pretty much the greatest thing on earth.
Oh yeah, you mean you're battling for a national championship, the Mann Cup, one of the oldest trophies in Canadian sports history. and you're just playing each other over and over and over again, you know, you're just ready to just strangle each other because you want that trophy so bad, and you're sick of seeing the same guys over and over again.
I told Sam McDade, Billy D. Smith's a great interview, and let's see him prove us right. Sam, you go ahead.
Thanks a lot, guys. Billy, welcome to the final series. This is the third game of the series, but your first. Talk about how difficult it might be to enter into this series in the third game, or if it was easier for you.
It's pretty easy. You know, I wanted to be in game 1 and 2, but a little bit banged up from last series. So, you know, it's good to be out here and help the team. Just try not to hinder the team.
Let's talk about the score and a couple quick goals for you guys towards the end of the second period. What does that do for momentum for you guys as you head off?
It's big. We just got to realize to keep our heads up, not let the refs interfere with our game plan. You know, we're an emotional team, and sometimes we're too emotional. Right now, I think we could be a little less emotional.
Let's talk about the emotions between you guys and Maple Ridge. It is a close score, 1-goal deficit. They did come back yesterday. What's the keys to shutting them down here today?
Just to stay with play Chiefs ball, stay with our game plan. You know, we'll run hard on and off, and basically just do what the coaches tell us. We're kind of getting away from our game a little bit, and like I said, we're getting letting the refs get under our skin. So as long as we just do what we did to get here, we'll be fine.
Lastly, I thought you'd be a great guy to ask. 2013 Mann Cup, 2014 Mann Cup, you won. What's it going to take to win the 2016 Mann Cup?
Hard work, and I think we're realizing that.
Awesome. Thanks so much for talking with me, Billy. I'll let you go back to the room. Listen back upstairs to Steven Stamp and Pat Gregoire, guys.
Nice work, Sam. I told you, he's a great interview. He's a lot of fun. He really is. I mean, we've talked about it. He's a nasty man on the floor. He is tough to play against, but he is such a great guy. And I love the interviews, and he is a big factor for them on the floor.
He certainly is. Like, I mean, what was it? Maybe the second or third possession. Boom! He soaks a shot, blocks it. You see the penalty kill when he's out there. They're just way more calm, cool, and collected. And even when the rough stuff happens, although he is a tough bugger, he knows when to go at it and when not to. We know when to back off and say, "Hey guys, let's leave it. Let's not worry about it." And you heard him. He said, sometimes we play with a little bit too much passion. I think we're starting to. Let's not worry about them. Let's worry about ourselves.
I think Johnny Fever got kicked off the air in Cincinnati for saying one tough bugger. I'm pretty sure he did. I'm Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire for JVI Sports Network. We'll be back with the third period.
Born of the Huron and of the Mohawk, of the wilderness, of strength and endurance. This is Canada. This is lacrosse. Our country, our sport. Canada's national summer sport, lacrosse.
2017 Toronto Rock season tickets are on sale now. Lock in your seat today for as low as $195 and you won't miss a moment of the action. For more information, visit torontorock.com.
Hi, I'm Cody Jameson, and I shop at ILA Sport.
JVI Sports Network's coverage of the 2016 Mann Cup is presented in part by the following. Aero Express Sports, committed to preserving and teaching Native American Indians sport, culture, music, and language. They are proud to own and operate the 3,000 capacity multi-purpose facility that is the ILA. Winter lacrosse registration is now open, so visit their website to sign up today so you can play like the pros on the ILA turf. Team 22. It's designed to be the elite training program that strives to deliver the best combination of training and playing experience in an off-season training program. We focus on the overall lacrosse experience and player development. Visit their website for more information on training programs, to view their catalog of men's and women's lacrosse gear, or to see their extensive roster of Team 22 athletes. The Oswego Speedway. The 12th Annual Sprint Car Nationals are this Saturday at the Oswego Speedway. Bring the family and cheer on your favorite driver as the 360 sprint cars run for national glory and a $12,000 purse. Thunder Stocks are also be in action Saturday night. The green flag drops at 7:30 p.m. Head to the track every Friday night between May and September to feel the excitement of dirt track racing at the Oswego Speedway. Smokin' Joe's. Natively owned and operated, Smokin' Joe's is based on the Tuscarora Indian Nation near Lewiston, New York, and are committed to bringing you smokin' deals on apparel, home goods, travel packages, and more. Aided with exceptional customer service locally, their mission is to revitalize Niagara Falls, New York, USA, while maintaining the Native American culture. Check out their trading post, fun park, gas bar, and lacrosse box on your next trip to New York. Kanawaki CrossFit. Located in the Native American community of Kanawaki, this CrossFit gym offers top quality training for the starter or elite individual. They are committed to combating diseases affecting the Native community, such as diabetes and obesity, through exercise and nutrition education. Connect with them on Twitter and Facebook to get connected with a member of their staff or to start your training program.
Welcome back to the 2016 Mann Cup on JVI Sports Network. Sam McDade, Matt Carrick. We are joined by Toronto Rock owner Jamie Dowick. Sorry, Jamie. Thanks for joining us here. Let's start off by talking about the season ahead. What are you most excited for?
Well, it's a busy time. We got the draft coming up in a couple weeks, and that's where our focus is right now. Excited to get back on the floor and erase the memories of last year more than anything else, to be honest with you. So, but busy times looking ahead at the draft right now is really where our focus is at.
Now, of course, you are the Toronto Rock owner, also the GM. You come to an event like this, and I know Maple Ridge has a lot of guys who aren't currently signed. They may have been through the draft. Obviously, you're looking for the draft strategy, looking at some guys, but also a big part of that, I would imagine, is inviting free agents into camp as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, I'm here tonight as a fan to watch a Mann Cup game, absolutely, and there's a couple players, in the lineups that are in the draft, and yeah, there's a bunch of free agent players out there, so. I'm just here watching the game, and if anyone kind of sticks out to me, we'll take a deeper dive into them and see if there's something there. But, Creighton Reed, that's how he came to the Toronto Rock 7 years ago. He was a free agent playing for Maple Ridge back then, and, and he's gone on to have a successful NLL career. So an opportunity for these guys for sure.
Part of the ownership with the Toronto Rock is the Athletic Center out in Oakville. Fantastic facility. I know you guys are running a lot of great programs. Colin Doyle signed on. I know Paul Rabel's coming. Anything more you can talk about with that? And I know a lot of big changes, including the offices and things like that upstairs as well.
Yeah, no, we're plugging away. We've hired Colin on to take over kind of the track athletics is our new programming, and which kind of leads to. This weekend we're having a community day at the facility from 10 to 1, which is, an opportunity for us to unveil everything to the public, and we're encouraging everyone to come by and check it out. Lots going on, lots of things for the kids, tours of the building, talking about our new programming and stuff like that. So exciting times there. We've got a lot, obviously lacrosse orientation, but lots of other stuff going on too. So. Anyone should really just come by and check it out and see what we got going on there.
And last night we had Brian Shanahan in. We talked a little bit mimical lacrosse and his kids. I know you're more Oakville centered, but I'm sorry to hear that. That'll end this interview tonight. No, I'm kidding. The big thing, I guess, for your kids was the junior NLL tournament last couple weeks ago. Congratulations on a successful tournament. We thought we were there filming that, but just your thoughts and to put a wrap on that.
Well, it really is an awesome event. Anyone, I mean, you guys are there. Anyone that's been a part of it really knows that. It's gotten bigger and better every year over the 4 years. A great event for me. My kids get a chance to pull on the Rock jersey. That's pretty special for me. And for all the kids that pull on the Rock jersey and represent my Rock League. And I'm real proud of all those kids. And, I realize, there are a lot of kids that come from this area, and we're fortunate to have them playing here. But it is a special weekend and a great opportunity to kind of give back to the kids and the families that support our team throughout the winter. So, awesome weekend.
Now, Jamie, we had a day in history today. 3 years ago, Colin Doyle, he put on the goaltending equipment and played it. We want to talk to you a little bit about that because we touched on his leadership and what that really shows for him.
Listen, I can remember sitting on my porch out back watching the game on a computer, obviously, because it was out west with one of my good buddies, and it was late at night. And once you knew the second goalie got thrown out, I knew who was going in net. No doubt about it. And listen, he did exactly what I would expect him to do, and he won. So that was, thank God he didn't get hurt. That was really the biggest thing going through my mind at the time. But, always going to be a special thing. It was something pretty crazy. 2 goalies get chucked out of a game for wearing illegal equipment, and they put a player in the goalie's illegal equipment to finish the game, but that's okay. So what are you going to do? It was awesome.
Now we'll touch on one more event for the Toronto Rock, a community event with Michelle Williams. Do you want to talk to the Toronto Rock fans and the Mann Cup fans a little bit about that?
Yeah, like a little bit more on what I said earlier. It's awesome. Toronto Rock Athletic Center this Saturday from 10 to 1. Michelle Williams, who was part of the 4x100 freestyle bronze medal team, she's going to be there signing autographs. Come check it out. Lots to do, bouncy castles, face painting, food trucks, all the business. So it should be a fun day.
So all the good stuff. We'll send it upstairs to our commentators in the booth, guys.
Thanks, Sam and Matt, and Jamie. Let us know who you think should be the Thompson Brothers Lacrosse 3 stars of the game. Tweet us at JVI Video. We'll take your suggestions into account. And the face-off has happened. Sid Smith will pick up the loose ball after the Chiefs threw it back, so they will get the first possession of this 5-4 game as we head into the third period. And just a clarification for everyone. Actually, we'll get to it in a minute. We're going to watch this possession because they're already setting up. Dan Dawson throws it across, picked off. Great job by Owen Barker to jump in the way. And he kicks it back to Kevin Reed. What a tremendous play by Owen Barker.
Great job to recognize the slow pass.
Yeah.
And then when it does hit the turf, kick it over to his player. Great heads-up play.
McIntosh sets it up over to Jarrett Davis. We do have an explanation of the delayed penalty situation from the last period that we'll get to when we have a moment. Riley Lowen, meanwhile, passes it down to Dan Taylor. Taylor comes across the top. Everyone's picked up. Great defensive possession by the Chiefs. So Taylor's going to have to try and force a shot with Vaughn Harris on him. That is just 5 guys playing great one-on-one defense. Here comes Briar Jonathan with the ball. Cross to Dan Dawson. Down to Smith. Hard shot by Point, but it's knocked down by Clay Miller, who is then knocked down by Craig Point. Chiefs get it back. They've got 6 on the clock as Dawson tries to work his way out of the corner. Dane Michaud on him. Dane Smith with the shot, but Clay Miller was right on him, limited his options. Chiliano thinking a bit down the floor to Zach Porter, but it's not really there, so he makes the smart, safe pass to Creighton Reed. Zach Porter wanted that ball.
As he always does. Streaks right up the floor, looks at if he can create something with his speed.
Davis gives it off to Symes, who goes for the jump shot. You like the jump shot, me not so much, but that one didn't work out, went up into the roof.
I don't mind it when it works. When it ends up like that, you kind of look silly, but it's the field lacrosse in me.
I loved his other goal, the behind the back.
That was gorgeous.
That's out there. People have got it out on Facebook and Twitter and stuff, so people can see it. That is a beauty. Watch it over and over because it does not get old. That ball's bouncing around. 11 on the shot clock as Dawson recovers it. Nice little spin by Barker to get back. He's having his best game of the series. Benesh gets the loose ball, though, and Chiliano makes a huge save, and Barker's there to scoop up the loose ball.
Yeah, I've really liked the play of Barker.
Great
all
awareness
series
tonight.
long, but tonight he's really stepped it up. And like you said, it's definitely he's playing very heads up as well.
Taylor leaves it for Davis. McIntosh looking for someone to go to. It's Mallory. He shoots. Oh, got it through Ward's legs, but it bounced up, and Kellen LeClaire gets it. He's stripped. Nice forecheck by the combination of McIntosh and Taylor, but a fortunate bounce for the Chiefs, unfortunate for the Burrards. And we'll go back the other way. Jamison coming around the pick, shoots, saved by Chiliano, and he just got that one. Rolls back, and Point's going to set up with the fresh 30 for the Chiefs. Briar Jonathan gives it to Jamison. Point shoots it. That one's blocked, and I'm not sure who blocked it, but I do not want to be the guy who gets hit by a Craig Point shot.
No,
he's got one of the heaviest shots in lacrosse. Smith up top. Dawson way over in the corner with Clay Miller on him. Smith knocks down Miller. Miller looked a little off balance. I didn't think that was a huge pick. That shot by Jonathan goes wide. Smith gives it to Jamison. Point will let it fly. That one goes off of either Dan Dawson or Zach Porter. Either way, Chiliano grabs it and shovels it over to Porter. Pretty good defensive set by the Burrards as the Chiefs are moving it all around. Connor Goodwin passes it off and drives to the net. Spins away from David Brock to set another pick. That pass is well behind Jarrett Davis. Symes trying to check Sid Smith, but that's a cheeky little over-the-back pass. And Brody Merrill's running. He's got Paul Dawson and Vaughn Harris with him. Goes over to the far side to Randy Stotts. Harris is going to slow things down and give it off to Stotts and cut to the middle. Last man out is Dan Dawson, who gives it to Banesh. Two-man game, and the pass gets away from Merrill. Harris is going for it, but look at Colton Porter go. Colton Porter and Zach Porter are brothers. There's Jarrett Davis. He and Aaron Davis are brothers. Comes back out. We've had people asking about some of them. There's Aaron Davis. Jarrett will stay out there as Aaron goes to the box. And yes, we have some others. The Stotts, Austin and Randy Stotts are brothers. Paul and Dan Dawson are brothers. Billy D. Smith and Dane Smith, cousins. Kevin Reed and Creighton Reed, no close relation. What a shot by McIntosh. He has been a quiet assassin for the Burrards, and he has tied this game up.
Certainly has been quiet, but that outside shot was not quiet at all. And he's showing, we talked about early on in the series about how he's so good away from the ball, getting open, catching and releasing in tight situations. But boy, these last two games, he's really used his outside shot to his advantage, shooting right over the defender there, going high to low. And Dylan Ward, I don't even know if he saw that ball come out of his stick because there was so much traffic in front of him.
Just a perfect shot. David Brock runs Kevin Reed into the boards on that face-off scramble. It's all over. And this is what happens when you have that CLA rule that you have to draw straight back. You can't lock and battle. You can't clamp down and just try and fight for it. So the ball comes out and everyone's battling for it. This is an extended one. The carpet's pretty good along there, but if it gets a little further down, there is that seam by the doors where it can be tough to pick up because there's a little crease. And it's eventually the Chiefs that come up with it. And Paul Dawson, looking a little like Alan Page, running the wrong way, but he's actually just trying to get to the bench and get it to his teammates. 18 seconds left on the shot clock for the Chiefs as Austin Stotts isolates against Travis Irving. He's going to take a penalty as Irving just kind of clamped on Austin Stotts and took him down in the crease. And while we have a second, I'm going to explain what happened on the delayed penalty in the second period when Frankie Chiliano came up and was standing just outside the restraining line. And I was saying we're confused because it's not center, it is the restraining line. So the shot clock shouldn't have been running. And it wasn't. Ian Garrison was signaling for a reset because the clock inadvertently started to run.
Oh,
so he was just asking him to reset it to make sure that the clock wouldn't run out on the Burrards.
Makes sense. I thought he was saying to start the clock.
Yeah, and he was actually saying reset it because of the mistake.
Put it back to 30.
So yeah, we were correct that the clock should not have started, and he was actually just basically correcting an error by the timekeeper. So heads up work by Ian Garrison. Banesh over to Smith. He'll shoot. That one stopped out front, scooped up by Colton Porter, and he is sprinting up the floor, watched by Dane Smith. Porter is quick, because if you can run away from Dane Smith or at least stay ahead of him, you're fast. McIntosh, nifty little cuts through. Over to Davis. That's Jarrett Davis. The other question was on the checking in the crease call to Ben McIntosh. Why? Oh, what a play by Dan Taylor. Just kind of set that ball up there for Luke Gillespie to run onto, and the shorthanded specialist will give it away and then head in and look for a chance to get another shorthanded goal. Of course, Matt Symes has one in this game as well. He's not out there right now. McIntosh will take the bouncer. Jarrett Davis, watched by Brody Merrill. John Sullivan ready to help if necessary. A minute to go on the penalty. This is a very active penalty kill by the Burrards, partly because the Chiefs are putting so much pressure on Sullivan, chopping down hard on Jarrett Davis. Gillespie running away from Thompson. But the checking in the crease call, if the stick is outside the crease, you can check it. But Ian Garrison was right there, and he said, yeah, it was right on the crease line. He checked just as play was started. There's Gillespie, passes across. Thought he was going to shoot, but made the pass. Maybe he wanted a shorthanded assist. Maybe not a bad idea. He's off on his offside if he didn't see an opening. But boy, he's created some openings with some of those fakes he's thrown. Now Riley Lowen will come out. Gillespie's going to head off for a rest. These guys have been working hard, and they're 12 seconds from killing this penalty.
The Burrards just far, far too fast and athletic.
Yeah. You can see on the replay, by the way, sorry, I was talking about the other thing, but you saw on the replay of the penalty that, it was the tug on the jersey, I think, that made it fairly obvious when the jersey pulls out like that. There's Mallory out to McIntosh. They've got 5 attackers back on as we're back to full strength. What a catch. Symes goes behind the back again, but misses this time. Mallory gets it. Symes is in front, but they go to the trailer. McIntosh, his shot is stopped by Ward. He pounces on it. We're still 5-5.
Nice stop by Ward there, getting the stick there, making sure it's not going to trickle in like we have seen him allow the last couple games here, including tonight.
Jamison tries to work it through. Shot. What a goal. Vaughn Harris takes the pass, goes sidearm, mid to high, and rips it past Frankie Chiliano to put the Chiefs ahead.
We've seen Vaughn Harris a few times this series get some looks when he's been stuck on offense. And that one absolutely destined for the net, an absolute rocket. We'll see on the replay. The pass coming from Cody Jamieson and just an underhand rip. Jamieson finding him so perfectly. And a perfectly placed ball as well.
Thompson pulls it back out of the faceoff, rips over and grabs it himself. Great heads-up play by Jeremy Thompson. He knew exactly where he was going. Saw that the Burrards and Chiefs player were engaged along the restraining line, so he just ran around them, knew where the ball was going, and picked it up. The Chiefs are on the offensive possession. Dan Dawson to point, offside. He'll shoot. That one bings off the helmet of Ryan Benesh. Oh, no, I guess it's off of Colton Porter, so it'll be Chiefs possession. They didn't argue, so I got to assume it was correct. Jonathan trying to grab that one. Eventually, it's Barker that comes up with it. He's being chased by Briar Jonathan, and you can hear the bench yelling to make him aware. Jonathan still with the forecheck. Great pressure. What an effort by Jonathan. And now just 17 seconds on the shot clock as the Burrards get into the offensive zone. LeClaire picks up Davis. He comes across the top, shoots way high, and Ward will just hop on it in the back of the crease. Little shovel over to LeClaire. Kellen LeClaire, who did play his final junior season this year. There's Dane Smith going to the net. Oh, he almost snuck that one through with Aaron Davis right up in his face. The ball's loose. Austin Stotts with the chop. Cody Jamieson going after it, and it's Austin Stotts with it. They're going to say he stepped in the crease, and Clay Miller will give him a shove from behind into the boards. After Chiliano was knocked over, his helmet comes off.
I think there was a little bit of acting there by Chiliano.
He may have embellished. And Zach Porter is telling everyone, let's get off the floor and get the O out. Let's go. We got a chance to push the ball. And the Burrards, they want to push the pace. Let's see what happened here. Here's the battle along the boards. Stotts is going to come out with it right here.
Great job by Stotts.
Yeah. That may have been embellished. I'm not sure Austin Stotts can knock Frankie Chiliano over that easily. Symes with the shot. What a save by Ward. Mallory almost had the loose ball, but it's in the stick of Brody Merrill instead. He leads Vaughn Harris. Harris is running. He wants to shoot. Reed on him. Harris fights through. Oh, nice play by by Colton Porter to limit the shot. And Harris just misses. Porter with the ball. Passes it back up top to Gillespie. We are past the midway point of the third in a thriller. Oh, that one bounces away from Riley Lowen. Big wrap check by Gillespie, but nice heady play by the youngster Leclerc. As I said, he played for the Junior A Six Nations Arrows this year, has been called up, has been pressed into duty a few times, and has done a pretty nice job for this Chiefs team when they've needed him. Played last year, of course, with the Calgary Roughnecks. Stotts over to Jamieson. Pass across. Oh, nice save as Randy Stotts got that ball on the net. Chiliano with the foot save. Ball pops out, but it's picked up sharply by Creighton Reed. Great effort on the loose balls. The Burrards get it. The Chiefs forcing it loose with the forecheck. Jamieson and Stotts fighting hard for it, but the Burrards heads up to be right there when it pops out. Mallory across. Taylor now tries to hit. I think he was going for Davis, and McIntosh kind of reached up and grabbed it. Dawson loses his stick, but it goes to Ward. The action fast and furious. 8.5 minutes to go, and Harris is running again. He's got Austin Stotts with him. Gives it to him. He passes across. Dane Smith looking for Dawson. He's going to go up top to the last man out, Benesh instead. Stotts one-on-one with Reed. Here comes Benesh. Dane Smith. Toe drag, shoots, saved by Chiliano. Tries to grab it. The ball's on the edge of the crease, and Smith gets it back. It's knocked loose. Great effort again. Kevin Reed trying with one hand while he's kind of warding off a player with the other. And it's going to be Burrard's possession. I didn't see exactly what the call was, but there were a lot of guys battling for that. We're going to take the media timeout in a sensational 6-5 Mann Cup Game 3, brought to you by JVI Sports Network. Patty Gregoire.
The Toronto Rock season tickets are now on sale for the 2017 season. Enjoy great benefits like the ticket exchange program, 2 Bring a Friend vouchers for any regular season game, and your ticket to the first Rock home game is included. Tickets start as low as $195. For more information, call 416-596-3075 or visit torontorock.com. And the Toronto Rock Elite League is still accepting registrations for this fall. Join the premier winter box lacrosse league in Canada. It's a 24-game regular season that allows players to keep their skills sharp all year round. Rock Elite League has professional coachings from NLL players and coaches. It includes NLL rules and official. Register online today at rockeliteleague.com. Certainly make Mr. Dowick's day by signing up. It's a good interview with him. I thought that was a very, very good interview during the second intermission.
Burrard's coming forward. Riley Lowen passes it off. Davis. Mallory's running across the top, looking for them to pass to. Gets to McIntosh. He hits a cutting Lowen. Somehow holds onto it. Now it's knocked out. Nice double team by Smith and Sullivan. Ward snags that ball. And they're going to say back in. As Sullivan had the ball, it popped loose and rolled into Ward. So the Burrards get possession. Sullivan swatting away the stick of Taylor. McIntosh surveying. High pass, gets away, but a break for them as it goes straight to Mallory off the boards. Davis setting a pick. McIntosh and Lowen, just misses the far side. Comes out to McIntosh. They've got 10 seconds to shoot. Leclerc on him, doing a nice job. McIntosh's pass shot, I'm not sure which it was. I think it was a pass. Got away from him, may have been a shot.
Six Nations
Austin
on the
Stotts,
move now.
he's running in, barreling his way through. Double team with Porter and Reed. And that pass goes over to Dawson, just misses. No, it touches Chiliano, so a fresh 30 as Stotts gets it.
What a feed from Stotts.
Oh, that pass bounces over to Point. Almost got picked off, but Stotts will go down to Dawson. Hits the cutting Benesh. Big save by Chiliano.
Chiliano playing outstanding once again.
Oh, he has been very good. Running the floor is Matt Symes. Berard's pressing, trying to get this evened up. Here goes Gillespie, shoots, scores! Luke Gillespie! What a play. He's had a short-hander, now he adds an even strength, and it is 6-6.
Wow. Gillespie has been such a difference maker in these last 2 games. I mean, he was a solid offensive boost for this team throughout the year, which made it a lot of people question why he wasn't in the lineup in the first game, but boy, he's showing why he is going to probably stay in the lineup for the rest of this series there.
It's going to be Maple Ridge possessions. Jeremy Thompson clamped down, illegal faceoff. Didn't pull straight back. And nice replay there as we saw it. But I talked to Rob Williams after game 2, and he said, they were trying to go with kind of some bangers to try and open up some space in game 1. It didn't really work out. They went a bit more skill. There's a shot by Taylor, bounces well out, and Davis will track it down. So, they've kept Amesbury and Natilla out because they were kind of trying to open space, but they went with more skill with Symes and Gillespie, and it has worked out very well because everybody is working hard. McIntosh over to Lowen. Lowen in particular, I think, has worked hard. That shot is blocked by John Sullivan. Sorry, by Ethan O'Connor. We're going to have a holding call against the Chiefs. Blair Ferguson runs over to call it. No, it's a slashing call after the play as the ball was headed up the floor, and it's, I think, Billy D. Smith going to the box. It is. Smith with his second penalty of the game.
Tough break for the Chiefs. 6 minutes left in this one, and the Berards, who are starting to pick up some momentum here, head on to the power play.
And, it's 6 minutes left. It's a tie game. We're thinking about the 3 stars. We're calling the game, and boy, it is tough. There are a lot of great performances. Looking at some defenders, looking at the goalies.
Help us out, so send us your tweets to us and maybe make our decision a little easier.
At JVI Video is the handle. Mallory over to Taylor. Lowen's looking for something. Mallory. Some ball movement. Nothing opening up yet. Lowen was looking for Mallory, who kind of took himself out of a passing but then got into one, but the pass didn't quite get there. Oh, and that pass gets away and into the Chiefs bench. That's a big turnover as the pass was just wayward. And Dane Smith has the ball. McIntosh and Lowen on him, and he just passes it over to Dawson. I think they were expecting him to run it. Now Zach Porter on Dawson, who's going to the net. He's got room. Oh, what a save by Chiliano. Oof. He has been fantastic.
He certainly has. I think the Berards have a case there. It looked like it might have been interference on the other side with Jonathan there. At least a possession call. It freed up space for Dawson to head right down the middle.
Often that doesn't get called. The guy's running down. He's running anyway. So is it a moving pick if he's already running and the defender's running with him? And it's a tough call. And I don't know. It would have been, I think, the Chiefs might have had to complain if it's called. I think the Berards, if it's not. Here comes Dane Smith. Saved by Chiliano. And that's great effort by Colton Porter to limit the options that Smith had. But he is so quick and dangerous that he's still got a good chance.
Yeah, Porter doing a good job making sure he can't come over back to the other side, forcing him go down low, try to beat Chiliano short side, which has been mightily tough tonight.
Berard still on the power play, 27 seconds left. There's the cutting Mallory. It gets away from him. Lowen tries to get it back. McIntosh has it to Lowen. Misses. It bounces out. It gets away from Davis, and here comes Brody Merrill. He's got David Brock racing down the other side. Davis picks him up. He goes to Dawson. He shoots. Saves Chiliano. Reed somehow, no, he doesn't avoid the crease. I was going to say Kevin Reed avoided the crease, but he does not. He'll stay there to check Dan Dawson. Almost a spectacular play by Reed. Boy, he's been good. I know we're thinking about him for one of these 3 stars, but man.
Thinking about a lot of players.
We have, it's pretty scribbly here on the paper where we jot notes to each other, I'll tell you. Chiefs setting up. They've got 24, lots of time in the shot clock. Dawson surveying, waiting. Over to Austin Stotts. He's going to shoot. Chiliano had to be alert because Stotts just kind of flicked that one. We've talked about the quick release. He does not need a lot of windup.
He does not try to go with a little bit of a bounce shot there. Fortunately for Chileano, he reads the bounce perfectly.
If you're an NLL GM, start making some trades to get first-round picks in 2020. That's when Austin Stotts and Jeff Teat come out. There's Goodwin going to the net, scores! Connor Goodwin, what a drive, slips through a couple of checks and buries it. It was an even strength goal. Billy D. Smith was back out, and the Burrards go ahead 7-6 with 3:22 to go.
The pride of McGill, Connor Goodwin, making Tim Murdoch proud with that one. Talk about all these NLL players, and it's a youngster in Goodwin who gives his team the lead with a beautiful move, showing his athleticism.
I believe Goodwin is, as we see this again, that is some great feet and great hands. Nice finish. I believe Goodwin is going to camp with the Vancouver Stealth. But, boy, there are some guys making a case for themselves. We said only half a dozen of these Burrards in the NLL. I think some of them could get some looks.
I think so.
Here,
definitely.
you write down the 3 stars. I don't know, man. We got to adjust this up, but holy cow, what a game we are seeing. 7-6 for the Burrards. Who will go ahead? Can the Chiefs come back? Smith with the shot, Chileano with the save. Another big save, and Frankie Chileano is making it look easy, but anytime you stop Dane Smith, it's not easy. Here comes Jarrett Davis, 2:40 to play. There's a pass in front. Oh, what a save on Gillespie. Dylan Ward with the big foot save. Here comes Ethan O'Connor. Wrap check attempt by Gillespie. He's back. He's going to go pick up O'Connor. We've seen O'Connor stay up and play effectively. Now he's going to go to the bench, though, and Gillespie will take advantage to run to the bench as well and get a defender out. It's Kevin Reed, who's had a sensational game. He's on Jameson. Huge pick by Dan Dawson. Reed is down, and Dan Dawson is complaining, but I don't think there's much question about that one.
No, that's definitely a moving pick. Textbook moving pick. Obviously, the fans here in Six Nations not agreeing with the officials, as you know what, they are fans, so they're obviously looking for the best for their team.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, if you're a team, you argue that one, because.
Yeah.
But let's see it again. Here comes Reed. Here comes Dawson. I mean, he's setting his feet, but he leans into him. I guess I see their point that Dawson feels like he kind of set. Yeah. I mean, it's a big hit, but he's just a big, strong guy.
Yeah, he might be getting, penalized. I think he's getting penalized for being bigger and stronger there.
Yeah, it's a tough call.
Like,
and you know what? In real time, live, I thought it was a moving pick, and I thought it was textbook, like you said. So I'm not going to harp on the refs for it, but you watch the replay. If they had a slow motion replay, maybe they'd make a different call.
No, I think I totally agree.
McIntosh cuts to the net. Great recovery by Brody Merrill. There's Sullivan with the slide. The shot by McIntosh late in the 30. 1:37. Is Ward? Yes, Ward is going to the bench for the 6th attacker. Austin Stotts was kind of looking to the bench. Cody Jamieson trying the hidden ball trick, but the Burrards are on it, so Stotts passes it, goes up to Jamieson at the top. Point, back to Jamieson. Moving the ball around. The Burrards defense moving all over the place. There's Point. Pulls it down, scores! What a shot by Greg Point. The nice little toe drag. We talked about the outside shot earlier, and you said, he does other things too, which he shows you right there.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing with him having that dangerous outside shots, when he goes to wind up and pulls that toe drag, one, players are just assuming he's shooting, and then two, sometimes they're bracing themselves saying, oh crap, point shooting, I gotta brace myself, and then they freeze, so he beats them right around, and you'll see here, Jamieson with a nice fake actually fakes out the camera there because it was so nice, and Point just quick little toe drag comes in and puts that ball in perfectly. Beautiful fake.
That's a wicked toe drag.
Just a gross toe drag.
Wow. We are 1:08 away from going to overtime. If we have it, it will be a full 10-minute period. They'll get a 5-minute break and then a 10-minute overtime, and that's a play by Sid Smith. He is known for his tough defense, but boy, he can make some plays with the ball like we have seen in the MSL Finals and again now in the Mann Cup. There's a pass in front. Oh, off the post. Or Benesh almost caught what could have been a winning goal. There's a shot by Point. He wanted the hat trick. Chiliano stops him. Chiliano's going to do what the Chiefs have done. Now he's just going to block the ball so Dane Smith can't get it, and they'll have to play the ball. Creighton Reed with it. 27, so there's a 7-second difference. They can't wait for a last shot. Let's see how long they wait. Taylor sees Smith there smartly, doesn't pass it, and McIntosh will take the ball. 16 on the shot clock. 20 now on the game clock and 12 on the shot clock. McIntosh to Taylor. Back to McIntosh. They've got 6 to shoot. He tries to go down, spins, passes it over, but it's picked off by O'Connor, who takes a timeout. Oh,
Wow.
Then McIntosh hangs his head. He knows that may have been a mistake. It looks like he's saying his jersey was tugged, but
No.
I don't think you're
That's
not going to get a call there.
That's perfect defense
Yeah.
by Sid Smith. He was isolated. Exactly what they wanted to do. Give Ben McIntosh all by himself, but boy, Sid Smith eating him up. And then Ethan O'Connor recognizing the ball's in the air, grabs the Lucy, and right away calling the timeout right away.
As he's grabbing the ball with the one hand, his other hand is coming to make the tee. So John Tavares, arguably the greatest player of all time, now coaching, and he's a great lacrosse mind. Here's the play again as Tavares draws up the play.
Sid
There
Smith
it
with
is.
that lift.
Yep. And O'Connor grabs it, and you can
Timeout.
see. So Dan Dawson, Randy Stotts, and Craig Point, the righties. Ryan Benesh, Cody Jamieson, Austin Stotts, the lefties. No goalie. Aaron Davis, Colton Porter, Kevin Reed, Creighton Reed, and Dane Michaud out there for the Burrards to try to force overtime. Austin Stotts running with it. 7 seconds left. 6. He passes it to Jamieson, steps out high. Over to Point. He shoots. Saved by Chiliano. No way. What a save. Austin Stotts is flat in the crease. Kevin Reed doing the diving signal. Regardless, I don't think there are any penalties. Randy Stotts having a chat with Kevin Reed. They're gonna talk it up. 7-7. We will have a 5-minute break and then a full 10 minutes. Actually, they're just putting 2 up. We're gonna go to a quick break. We'll come back. We're gonna have 10 minutes of overtime for you. JVI Sports Network brings you a thrilling Game 3 of the 2016 Mann Cup. We're just about ready to go, lacrosse friends, but first, a quick peek at what transpired at the end. There's Point with the shot. Chiliano down, gets back up, and makes the chicken wing save. What a fabulous play. Jeremy Thompson, Travis Irving, just like the beginning of the game, they will face off. Again, a full 10-minute period. It is not sudden death or sudden victory, however you like to put it. We have 10 minutes to come here. It is bonus lacrosse. Aaron Davis tries to pick it up. Now Porter trying to get it. Now it's David Brock. He swats it back. Smart play by the veteran Brock. And Sid Smith will take control of it. Briar Jonathan over to the far side to Dan Dawson. Austin Stotts shoots, scores! 26 seconds in, we have the first goal of overtime. Austin Stotts is unlike any 18-year-old I've seen in a Mann Cup. He won't, if the Chiefs get this, he will not be the youngest player to win a Mann Cup. I know at least Josh Gillum was younger by a month or so, or a couple months. But, boy, I don't know if any 18-year-olds ever had this big an impact.
I was just going to say that. You stole the words right out of my mouth. That is such a disgusting shot. The fact this kid is 18 and, that was his first goal of the game. He's obviously had a lot of looks, but, boy, we've talked about it so many times. So many times. The kid loves to score, and he loves to score overtime goals as well.
Burrards get possession off the face-off. Zach Porter with it. And, just to point out, Josh Gillum actually had a very good Mann Cup for the Peterborough Lakers when he was 18. He was an absolute prodigy. Some injuries really kind of derailed him a bit, but he is, he's with the Rochester Nighthawks, hoping to get things rolling again. Such a talent. Here comes Ben McIntosh. Billy D. Smith out on him. Riley Lowen didn't get much on that shot as Paul Dawson was on him. Nice battle between O'Connor and Gillespie. And Sullivan slides in to take possession of the ball. Point leaves it to Jameson. Trying the hidden ball trick. They know Jameson has it, so he passes it over to Benesh. Randy Stotts. There's a Burrard's possession. Burrard's come back up the other way. Mike Mallory looks like he's laboring a little bit as he runs into the offensive zone. Jarrett Davis. Cross to the far side. Jab step, hard move by Goodwin, just misses the near post. Goodwin tracking it down. Mallory's there too. Brody Merrill after him, but Goodwin gets it. Goodwin almost tripped up. He's going to throw it ahead. It's straight into David Brock's stick. And here come the Chiefs the other way.
You can feel the tempo picking up even more. Six Nations definitely has the advantage with the momentum right now.
Austin Stotts knocked down. Penalty coming to the Burrards. It's going to be a tripping call. And the Chiefs with the 1-goal lead will go to the power play. And I'm just checking because Austin Stotts had 6 points coming into this game in the Mann Cup. We'll look at the replay of this penalty. There's the foot, tripping the foot. That's legit. Randy Stotts had 7 points. In this game, Randy Stotts has added 3. Austin Stotts, that goal was his first point, it looks like.
Yep.
So Randy Stotts is leading the sibling rivalry, but boy, they've both been very good. We haven't talked about Randy Stotts a lot. There's Jameson with the shot saved by Chiliano. He's had kind of a quiet role. Other guys doing louder things, but boy, he's been awfully good for them as well. Now he has the ball, gives it to Jameson with a fresh 30. They're going to take their time. Jameson around the top. Randy Stotts drops the ball but gets it back. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Austin Stotts taking his time up to Jameson with 6 to shoot. Saved by Chiliano, pops out. Gets away from Kevin Reed, but it bounces straight over to Creighton Reed. He's running with Porter with him. Pass across. Colton Porter turns aside. Brody Merrill all over him. The Burrards will set up. They've got 20. Oh, they're on the penalty kill, so the shot clock is frozen. Gillespie, so dangerous. A little trouble with it. Paul Dawson on him. The Burrards want a call, but McIntosh whips over and gets it. Sid Smith pulls away to not hold on. Smart play by Smith, the veteran captain. McIntosh taking his time. 42 left on the power play, so the Burrards trying to kill as much of that as they can. Dawson wants to go for a rest, so Kellen LeClaire will come out to pressure Luke Gillespie, and McIntosh has it. Jared Davis knocked down by Ethan O'Connor. McIntosh close to restraining line, but runs into some clear space, gives it to Davis. O'Connor trying to trap him down low, and Sid Smith is there to help. They go back up to McIntosh. Merrill's coming out, but not a lot of pressure by the Chiefs. They're fairly content to let this one tick away.
Yeah, I think the Six Nations Chiefs are not going to waste their energy. They're just going to let the Burrards kill this one off.
Yeah, they're back to even strength. Here comes Taylor. Lowen running to the net, shoots, misses wide, but it goes to McIntosh. He's driven down low by Smith. Lots of time, 17 on the shot clock. Davis runs a pick. There's a shot by Lowen that just misses. Doesn't go out of play though, and Taylor gets it. McIntosh has it, 10 to shoot. He'll toe drag, shoots, saved by Ward. He was all over that one, saw that McIntosh was going far side and was just waiting on it.
A big time stop by Ward, obviously getting outplayed right now by Chiliano. Chiliano's been lights out, but Ward, when challenged, he has made some big time stops as well.
He has been very good. Harris steps away. Benesh trying to work his way through, double teamed. Ball pops out. Oh, it goes straight to Jonathan, who misses. That one's going to go out of play. 30 seconds had expired anyway. So a fan will get that one. Actually, I think Sam McDade may have gotten that one. She did. She's got it over there. And they're telling her, go ahead, toss it over. They're telling her, toss it over. She's not going to do it. The Burrards are up in the offensive zone. 4:45 to go. Mallory. Boy, he'd love to come and be a spark for his team right now. The leading regular season scorer. Gets buried along the boards, but gets out of it. Pass across to Symes. He pulls it down. Looked like a tuck rule play as he was trying to pass it or shoot it. Ward is well out, but it is knocked over and the shot clock will expire. Hard defense by the Chiefs, making it tough on the Burrards.
Yeah, that's their bread and butter right there. Take away the inside, challenge the outside shooters, and they didn't get scrambly there. A couple times they got beat, but they were able to have a couple good recovery slides.
They move the ball across. Jamison over the top. He's dangerous. He scores. What a goal by Cody Jamison.
Big time players come up in big moments, and that's exactly what that is from number 88. It's been a completely different offensive effort we've seen tonight, and a huge reason is because of that player right there. And great job on Austin Stats to throw that pick there to create separation, and you give that much room for Cody Jamison to shoot. Doesn't matter if he has one leg, no legs, he's going to bury that chance, no problem.
Yeah, bear in mind, he's scheduled for surgery later in the month. I mean, he's unbelievable what this guy is doing.
It's insane. It's nothing short of insane.
I mean, Dylan Ward was full value MVP of the Major Series Lacrosse playoffs. But boy, Cody Jamison, you could have made an argument with those 4 games he played. And now the Chiefs get a face-off and control possession. And here they come, 3:53 to go. The Chiefs have the ball. Can they extend it? Can the Burrards come back? Dawson, he's going to pass it over. Benesh back to Harris. He's stopped by Colton Porter. Harris runs him over. And that's going to be a penalty. The Lanier referee, Blair Ferguson, didn't call it, but Ian Garrison saw it from up top, and he is calling it. Looks like a boarding call. Or it may just be roughing, but definitely Harris going to the box. And yeah, you got to call that one. The guy by the boards turned towards it, no question.
Yeah, we'll see the replay here. Harris' shot goes wide, and he's just going in for that loose ball, and and he just goes in. I don't think he was trying to plaster him through the boards or anything. He just went into the boards recklessly, and didn't keep in mind that the player's back was towards the glass there, towards the board.
I think it's a good call. So the Burrards will have a power play in just over 3.5 minutes to go. They'll see if they can get one here, and they can get possession. They'll start pulling Chiliano. Mallory, that one's tipped, gets away from McIntosh, but Davis is there. Great strip by Paul Dawson to get chopped down, and Davis immediately goes after the ball, so they'll blow play in, and the Chiefs have to play it. There's some forecheck by McIntosh. He's going all the way back on Brody Merrill, and Reed is there to help out. Creighton Reed, that is. Merrill lob pass to Dawson. Oh, what a great dummy as they say in soccer to decoy that the ball was not coming, then just grab it in the last second. That is a veteran play. That is how a player like Dan Dawson can have an impact, whether he's scoring or not. He has been scoring. I mean, he's moved up to 5th fifth in Mann Cup all-time scoring, but that's just a great play.
So smart, so smart. Ball in the corner now. Dawson just chewing this up.
55 seconds he is left in the penalty. There's Porter all over him. And we're going to have a moving pick called on Cody Jamieson as he flattened Porter. And the Burrards are going to set back up. They've got 48 seconds left on the power play. Matt McIntosh with the ball. Gillespie is the 5th man out. He's just getting there. Gillespie with it. They've got 12 on the shot clock. Taylor to McIntosh, shoots. Oh, what a save. Dylan Ward, that's a huge one. And again, he's not going to go for it. Symes has to get over and get after that ball because they're not going to blow play in. And he's just going to wait and stay with David Brock. And Dylan Ward will just sit there for the next 16 seconds. Now Symes is going to go over and reach for it. And as he does, Ferguson blows the ball in. Brock drops it. Symes gets on it, but Brock gets it back. Symes doesn't plaster him into the boards. There's a hit from Porter. Symes is trying to check him. What a job by Austin Stotts. He's going to the net, and Brody Merrill's yelling, whoa, whoa, whoa. And Austin Stotts pulls up. He wanted to go to the net.
He certainly did, but he listened to the veteran. The smart play
back
to take that out.
5-on-5 lacrosse. Jamieson taking his time, 18 on the shot clock. Kevin Reed's all over him. Reed, Jamieson going to the net, holding call. Reed tugs the jersey. You can see it come out. There goes Ward to the bench. Dawson will just lob it in. He took a cross check to the hip. He is in some discomfort. It's going to be the holding call to Reed, though, and boy, that's going to make it tough for the Burrards.
Certainly is. But that could have been a huge turnaround in this game. The bad pass coming from Austin Stats in his own end, trying to reach back for it, goes to pick it up. But we'll see here, huge stop by Ward. And I think this is going to be the cross check that we see.
Travis Irving gets the stick on the hip.
Right in the hip. God, that hurts.
Oh, you can tell. I mean, Dawson is about as tough as they come. And when he doubles over in pain, you know it. Dane Smith's just running back. The Chiefs don't need to shoot. Ward with a little bit of a pick. Smith runs away. Creighton Reed giving chase. Colton Porter's up on him. It's so hard to get the ball away from Dane Smith. And they're on the power play, so they don't even have to try a slash coming to the Burrards. The Chiefs will just wing it down the floor. And Creighton Reed doesn't even argue. He's in the bench. He's in the penalty box before the penalty is even signaled to the timekeeper. That's just a frustration call, but this one with 36.7 seconds left and the Burrards down 2 men is pretty much over. But what a game this has been. Just tremendous lacrosse. I hope everyone's enjoying it. I hope there's a lot of people. I don't even know how many people are watching, but I hope there's a lot of you because this has been fantastic lacrosse.
We anticipated both teams to, come out and give their A game, and that's exactly what we've seen. We've seen a different Six Nations team on defense. Dylan Ward making the stops when he can, but boy, oh boy, we got to give a shout out to Frankie Chiliano for being an absolute rock. When that Burrards defense, that high tempo defense, kind of falls apart, he's been there to back them up and bail them out big time.
Billy D. Smith gives to Paul Dodson. The Chiefs just playing keep away. The shots on goal are showing. I don't know if this is accurate. I can't imagine this, but the shots on goal on points are showing 51-26 for the Six Nations Chiefs, and Frankie Chiliano has absolutely kept the Burrards in. A lot of other players have contributed, but he has been just outstanding.
He's been absolutely lights out.
Dawson goes for the empty net as Chiliano is out covering David Brock. Chiliano catches it. He's just going to fling it towards the bench and down into the corner. Time will expire. What a game between these two teams. That's just excellent lacrosse.
That's exactly what that is. It's the first game we saw Six Nations completely outwork and outplay the Burrards. Game 2, Six Nations coming out really flat, not playing a complete game at all, and the Burrards picking them apart offensively and shoring things up defensively. And tonight, both teams, like I said, brought their A game and gave us nothing short of an unbelievable instant classic game. And for the people who thought that the Burrards were not going to give a battle, boy, are you not more wrong, because this thing is quite the series.
Sam McDade is down on the floor, making her way over by the Chiefs bench. She's going to grab one of their players. I'm guessing maybe Cody Jamieson. I would think that's not a bad idea. Maybe Austin Stotts. I don't know. She's wandering around. But first we're going to have the player of the game presentations. And it looks like Ben McIntosh for the Maple Ridge Burrards. McIntosh with definitely a strong game.
I don't think you can go back-to-back nights given Chiliano.
No,
I mean, he
could have gone with Luke Gillespie.
Yeah,
2 goals, 2 assists.
Yep.
Chiliano, I thought may have been even better tonight than he was the other night. Jamieson, the player of the game for the Chiefs. And nobody's arguing that one.
No surprise there. I've talked about it already earlier. When he's on the floor, it just gives this Six Nations offense, just a different look. You have to, respect him so much. He opens up the floor, and then that gives, other players on the floor so much more space.
And you can see him coming over. He's got that stick, and he has already identified, it looks like a young fan in the crowd, that he's tossing it over to. And wow.
That's awesome.
How exciting is that if you're a young fan and Cody Jamieson tosses you his player of the game stick? That kid is going to have that stick for his life and have a great story. I would be excited to get that stick. Sorry, we're going to go down on the floor to Sam McDade with Austin Stotts, who also had a pretty big goal.
Goal in overtime. Let's first start off there and take us through that play and what worked with it.
What the biggest thing was my partner in the floor there set a big pick, and I shot over top, and I ended up scoring.
Now, this game did go to overtime, so it was a closer score. What do you think the difference was between games 1 and 2 and to make this one such a close game? Do you think it was familiarity with the teams?
It was the first 2 games, you want to fill each other out and learn how they play and stuff. And then, yeah.
Lastly, let's look forward to game 4. What do the viewers and the fans have to look forward to in that game there?
A great game.
Thanks so much for talking with me. I'll let you celebrate. Congratulations. Let's send it back upstairs to Steven Stamp and Pat Gregoire, guys.
Thanks, Sam. That was great. You have to love Austin Stotts.
Oh, yeah.
You see it, the good game. It's going back and forth, and yeah. He just so much with that, yeah, almost Kim Squire-esque. And then he really channeled his inner Kim Squire when she says, what are you going to see next game? A great game. Be with us at JVI Sports Network for Game 4 of the Mann Cup. Tomorrow night here at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena, the Thompson brothers lacrosse 3 stars of the game. I'll tell you, Sid Smith, we went back and forth with several guys, but Smith was so good defensively.
The big thing that pointed out to me was that huge stop on McIntosh, stripping the ball, sending the ball flying in the air, and boy, did he step up when they needed him the most.
There are so many others. We talked about Kevin Reed. We talked about Luke Gillespie. We talked about so many guys. Austin Stotts with that big goal. Randy Stotts, our second star of the game, though. Frankie Chiliano was unbelievable. Again, he was their game star last night. I honestly think he was better tonight. I think there were more challenging shots. I think he was fantastic tonight.
Absolutely. He had that, that poor game in game 1, and I said, you know what, if Maple Ridge is going to be in this series, he's going to have to be better, and boy, he has been way better than just better. He's been phenomenal.
And then our first star of the game, there's no question, Cody Jamieson, 3 goals and 4 assists, and he was absolutely brilliant. He's playing on one leg, people, and as Rich Kilgore, he's the one who said, he brought us back in the MSL finals on one leg. He's unbelievable.
It's ridiculous what he's doing right now on one leg. We saw what he did in the major series finals, and we're seeing some magic once again. And it's just he probably was sitting there watching the game last game and knew, what, I can't sit here and watch anymore. Take me up, put me out there. I'm going to come here and then help my team win it. That's exactly what he did tonight.
I heard from a pretty reliable source that at the end of game 2, that with a few words in there were exactly what he said. I'm in. We have enjoyed bringing you game 3. We'll bring you game 4 tomorrow. We still have room for sponsors for game 5 Wednesday night. This is a great series. Hop on board. We would love to see some sponsors from the West. If you're out there and want to see things keep rolling, that would be great. If you're in the East, that'd be happy. We'd make this happy. We want to bring you these games. I'm Steven Stamp on behalf of Pat Gregoire and the JVI Sports Network crew. This is a great Mann Cup. Be with us tomorrow for Game 4.